Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Cinema Scumbags movie podcast, episode 161. My name's Seth.
And I'm a wizard, Harry.
We got Nick joining us live from the Great Hall at Hogwarts.
What house will I be in?
And
Stay tuned.
I'm in Diagon Alley.
Is that Diagon Alley? Thought it was Hogsmeade.
And we don't have green screen, so the effects look like shit. But if you're watching the video,
they're more endearing.
if you're watching the video, enjoy them anyways. How's it going, man?
I'm going. It's going all right. I'm very excited to talk about what we're going to talk about in this episode. Been thinking about it all day.
Yeah. We were just kind of brainstorming stuff to do this week, and the 20th anniversary of the first Harry Potter film. They're making a big deal about that. There's going to be a special on HBO. Nick's a big fan. I'm a big fan. We watched the films multiple times. We thought, hey, we've never done a Harry Potter themed episode where we kind of go through those films and talk about all sorts of things relating to them. And why not? Let's do it for the 20th anniversary.
Why not? Well, and plus, I've been doing another marathon.
Yes,
recently. So, a couple of them are fresh in my mind. I haven't gone back and watched all of them yet. Probably gonna watch Goblet of Fire tonight. But man, those films, they're something else.
Yeah, I actually picked up the 4K set not too long ago and finally, just like last week, finally finished up, marathoned them. So good. Lots of things to say.
Where do we even begin? From the beginning?
From the beginning.
From the beginning. Well, obviously they started out as books written by J.K. Rowling. I think it's Rowling, actually.
What was your introduction to the Harry Potter universe, I guess?
That's a great question. Did
you read the books?
I did. I read the books thoroughly. I went to the midnight releases to pick up the books. I saved all the money I could at that time as a youngster to put on layaway for the DVDs at Kmart.
Okay.
Pick up the DVDs when they released. So, it was like a yearly thing.
So you read all the books?
The movies. I did not read the last one. I still have not to this day.
Okay.
But I have like all the original hardcover versions of them. Still have those in pretty good condition, which is exciting. And,
nice.
I can remember specifically watching the last one in theaters, though. That was an experience.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably get to.
I read the first 4 books. And that was, I read up to the 4th book. That was before the other ones even came out. So I stopped at that point. And then I just never, as the other books came out, I never read them. So I only made it up to the 4th book. I remember going to see the first movie the day it came out in the theater. That's the only one I saw in the theater. And for many years, I'd only seen the first 2 films.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Those are the only ones I'd saw. Only like a couple years ago did I finally watch all of the films. So that first movie I've seen 50 times. Even the second one I've seen 50 times.
It's almost kind of surprising that you love them like you do, because you didn't really grow up with them.
No, I mean,
the normal sense.
I was really into those first 4 books, I mean, like when that first movie came out, I was like super excited for it, so I don't know. I think I just kind of, because I never finished the books, I never felt like, I remember those movies coming out every couple of years, and Deathly Hallows Part 2, and I just never, I didn't really care, I guess, because I never finished the books, and I just kind of ignored it until just a few years ago. So it's a weird path with Harry Potter.
It is, and I never watched the movies in theaters.
Okay.
I feel like I have a special selfish connection to them, because the first one, the movie, came out on my birthday in 2001.
Okay.
And then every year they'd come out around November. It was
right.
Like we're going to go see Harry Potter for the birthday.
Right.
And Yeah, it was a
Wait,
big
so,
deal growing
so did you
up.
watch all of them in the theater, or you didn't watch them in the theater?
No, I didn't watch it in the theater. I
Okay.
think the first one that I recall actually seeing in the theater was part one of the
Okay.
Deathly Hallows,
Okay.
and then
Yeah,
part two, obviously.
it's we would probably never see anything else in our lifetime that's like as big as that is, that
Mm.
the whole Harry Potter
Marvel,
thing.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that even now it's still huge. Half of the Universal parks are Harry Potter themes now. I mean, it's more popular now than ever. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the parks, the reunions, the spin-offs, the
Yeah.
fan fiction, fan art that was created because of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. A lot of I got a lot of things to say about the series, and I don't
The
know.
movies
It's
specifically as we go.
yeah. I mean, this is for the 20th anniversary of the first film. The books have been around. I don't know, when did that first book come out? 97 or something like that.
97, yeah.
97. So we're going off the films here. Hard
Yeah,
to
well,
believe. Hard to
we
believe
won't
that
be
first one's
talking about the books. We're very well aware that there's a lot of stuff that was cut out to
yeah.
put in the movies and all that, and we're not going to delve into that. We're just going to talk about the movies
Yeah.
themselves and our relationship to them.
Yeah. Um dude, I keep cutting out. This is distracting me.
What are you cutting out of? It looks fine.
Does it?
Yeah.
We're
When you
using
do
some really
that,
we're using some really janky effects. So if you're watching the video, you'll see what we're talking about. But we wanted to have oh god. Look, I got my invisibility cloak on. My body's gone.
my body's gone.
Anyways,
The,
though,
the invisibility booster must be faulty.
it's we were just talking before we recorded this. These are like I don't know, they're so easy to watch, I guess. And the movies are all kind of long, like you've heard me make jokes on here. Oh, it's got to be a 90-minute movie, or I'm not interested, or whatever. These
Yeah,
movies are all pretty lengthy, but for some reason they're just so quick. They're
they're
easy to
easy
watch.
watches.
Yeah.
Well, that Chamber of Secrets like 2 hours 40 minutes. I think it's the longest one in the whole
That one's long.
franchise.
Yeah, that one's long.
Yeah,
Feels a little long.
that one does a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit later,
Yeah.
but it's crazy too because when these books came out, at least when the first one came out, it was kind of seen as like just shelf dirt.
Right.
Nobody really cared about it.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess it says a secretary who read it and gave it to David Heyman, who produced all of them. And if you've ever watched any of the special feature, anything really, you've probably seen this guy. You probably know who he is. He's got one of those familiar faces if you're at all invested in the franchise. But he originally disliked him. He called him rubbish.
Wow.
He disliked the rubbish title and read the book himself, and he was impressed. So she actually only sold the rights for the first four books to Warner Brothers for £1 million or $2 million.
Jesus.
So, but she's reaped the benefits, that's for
Oh,
sure.
for sure. And you know, we won't get into all of it. There's a lot of controversy around her nowadays, but that goes to show you how big Harry Potter is, because even with that, it's just like kind of brushed aside, like this
Yeah,
transcends the creator, you know what I mean? Which is
it
pretty amazing.
does. It goes way beyond. Well, she's is or was a billionaire. I guess
Yeah.
the rumor is she lost her billionaire status because of how much money she's given away,
Yeah.
which, if that's the case, that's great.
Yeah. Well, you don't ever hear about that stuff.
No.
Um,
Um,
you know what always
good.
kind of crazy. I always think about it like with her, and I think about it with a guy like Stephen King, or these authors. It's like the fact that this shit all came out of her head. It's amazing.
It's
You know?
I think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like there was nothing, and then she
Yeah.
had an idea.
I mean, it's crazy, to think that one lady had shit in her head that's now like at Universal Studios. It's half the parks at Universal. I mean,
It's real
it's
now.
it's insane. And I think, like I said, I think that with like Stephen King too. When you watch The Shining or whatever,
Just
Misery and all that shit.
anything creative. It's just amazing to think that at first it was a thought,
Yeah.
and then it became a reality in some way.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, like I said, it's kind of even though there's issues around her that a lot of people are vocal about nowadays, I mean it's not enough to kind of take anything away from the Harry Potter franchise, which is pretty amazing.
Right. And it says she didn't want to sell the rights initially, but she was like on welfare. She was
Yeah, there's
in poverty.
right.
She was in a bad situation.
Damn, fucking
So
insane.
to think that you can go from where she was to where she is now over an idea.
Yeah,
And
truly.
she's been known, and I've seen videos where she's been known to be meticulous about the lineages of the families. She's got everything written down about who comes from where and who
Yeah,
what house this person's in and
you
what's
almost
their
have to
Patronus.
like if she was it gets so like complex with the different, there's that stuff all has to be documented, or you could like really run into a bunch of plot holes and shit.
Well, that's what's so weird about these Fantastic Beasts movies is it seems like she's running into plot holes that she's had for years.
Yeah,
That plot holes and lineages and dates and stuff, things
yeah,
that you'd think she'd have squared away. But
yeah,
she's also known for like making stuff up as the
right.
years go on. Like
It's
Dumbledore wasn't initially gay. There wasn't always a what this student wasn't always whatever. This,
right.
she just kind of makes things up as she goes along, it seems at times.
It's I don't know, we'll get into it, but yeah, we're gonna take kind of a different approach to this episode, not your conventional, news and criterions and all that. We're strictly focused on the subject for today's discussion, 20
Yeah.
years of HP. So should we just start here? How do we begin this?
Well, I think we should start with the process of finding the director
Okay,
for the first one,
let's do that.
which I I, I don't know if I had ever heard this before, but Steven Spielberg initially negotiated to direct the first film and he declined.
Fuck. Now,
Imagine that.
yeah, I mean, okay. Spielberg, he's not losing any sleep over everything. The guy's, done amazing films, but you wonder now, does he wish he would have done that?
Probably not,
Yeah,
because the way he saw it was he knew it would make money. He had
right.
no issues with that. What he thought was it was too easy. There was no challenge to making
Oh,
it.
well,
He
sorry,
says
Steven.
he claimed, yeah, why don't you go make another Amistad, loser?
Yeah, Jesus.
He claims that making money would have been like shooting ducks in a barrel. It's just a slam dunk. It's just like withdrawing $1 billion and putting it into your personal bank account. There's no challenge.
Hmm.
Um, but Rowling maintains that she had no role in choosing the directors, and anyone who thinks I could have vetoed Spielberg needs their quick quotes quill serviced.
Yeah,
So I guess there's speculation that she didn't want it, but I guess it was Steven that didn't want it.
yeah. Now that's ridiculous. I mean, I agree with her. There's no fucking way that they would give her the power to say who's, could be a great author, but that doesn't mean she's a visionary filmmaker. I mean,
Well, she's not a visionary screenplay
yeah,
writer, that's for sure.
yeah,
She can write a book, but not a
yeah.
screenplay.
No, I never knew Spielberg was even attached to any of that stuff. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. A group of kids movie,
Yeah,
he's good with the magical without stuff being magical.
right.
But after he left, they had conversations with a lot of directors. Now think about all these directors and think what kind of movie we would have had.
Okay.
Well, obviously you had Chris Columbus,
Okay.
Jonathan Demme,
Wow. What the
Terry
fuck?
Gilliam,
Oh my God.
Mike Newell, who obviously went on to do Goblet of
Goblet
Fire,
of Fire.
Alan Parker, Wolfgang Peterson, Rob Reiner, Tim Robbins, Brad Sibberling, and Peter Weir.
Wow.
Peterson and Reiner both pulled out of the running in March 2000. It was then narrowed down to Columbus, Gilliam, Parker, and Sibberling. And
I had
Rowling,
no clue Terry Gilliam was that close to directing Harry Potter.
Rowling's first choice was Terry Gilliam.
Wow.
Now, are you a fan of his?
I am. Yeah.
I don't
Not a massive fan.
know. I don't know how. I don't think I would have liked how that turned out.
It would be weird. I mean, his films don't really have like, like a lot of filmmakers or directors have like a style where you can kind of his shit's all over the place, at least from what I've seen from him. Like
Mm,
you could watch his movies blind and it would be hard to associate them as being from one different or the same guy. I don't know.
yeah. Maybe like a Fisher King or something, but
Yeah.
I think he does have a certain tone,
Yeah.
and he definitely has a certain comedic tone to his things
God,
because he was obviously part of the
Monty Python.
Monty Python
Yeah.
group.
It's strange to think about.
But obviously, Chris Columbus took over in March 2000, citing his work on other family films such as Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire.
And wow. In
Uh,
retrospect,
Great choice.
it's easy to talk in hindsight. Um, I think it was fine. I think it was a great choice.
I think it was a great choice. You had the
Yeah.
tough task of introducing this magical and mystical world, and I think he did really well
Yeah.
at I don't know, bringing everybody in, introducing everything, and making it palatable so people could understand like what this world was.
Did you go see this when it came out? Like the day it came out?
I did
Okay.
not.
So yeah, you probably would have been like 8, maybe
Yeah.
9, 8.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have been 11. And my God, I was so hyped for this because I loved those first few books.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad went with me, who had no clue what any of the shit, he didn't know what Harry Potter meant. So there's an example of somebody going into it blind. I mean, he loved the movie. So
Wow.
yeah, I think it did do a good job of that. I'm sure that was in their mind. Like, okay, a lot of kids are going to be watching this with their parents who don't fucking know what Quidditch is and all that shit. And I
Yeah.
think it did a really good job of being accessible to anyone.
It was because even in that quick 3 to 5 minute scene with Wood and Harry, he's trying
Yeah.
to explain to him what Quidditch is.
Yeah.
Real simple. This ball does this. This ball does this. These guys are beaters, chasers,
Yeah.
seekers. They use this bat. It's real simple, and obviously it's more detailed than that, but it gave you enough to know like
Yeah.
the basics
It
to understand.
I've got chills now thinking about that opening scene of that movie. I mean, really, I've got goosebumps thinking about it. And I remember being a kid, and when you fucking see Hagrid flying down on his motorcycle,
Oh my fucking god!
that's amazing. And it still is. I mean, I watched this the other day, and I'm like, that part, my God, to see it brought to life. I mean,
Mhm.
I could go to that theater now and tell you exactly where I was sitting. I remember it so vividly. But to see that brought to life, and then the music from John Williams, I mean,
Oh,
dude,
maybe definitely one of the greatest film scores ever.
God, I mean, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't like to throw the word genius around all that much,
It's,
but John
it's,
Williams is a fucking genius.
it's fucking, and like when you're a kid, you don't really, I didn't really realize John Williams, you don't understand all that. But now when you watch it as an adult, you realize like how big that is to like have they had John Williams score that and this big popular book franchise brought to life. I mean, it's perfect. That
I,
opening scene of that movie is perfect. I love it.
they took it from, like we said, from nothing and just created a fucking living
Mm,
world
yeah.
with music and with, well, you can't talk about it without talking about the cast. And does it get any better
No.
than the cast?
And I remember that too when Harry Potter was such a big deal. I remember when they found those kids to do that, and that was like a big news event. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really, really odd. Like, how
And
often
what's
do you see that?
um you usually get it after the fact, like a
Yeah,
Stranger Things or an It sort of thing.
yeah. I mean, like, I mean, you remember those kids sitting down there? It was like a press conference for them. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
You don't do that. It doesn't
S-
happen anymore.
So weird.
And it, to think that maybe they could have had like a Boyhood situation where somebody didn't want to be a part of it
Right.
anymore.
I
I mean,
mean,
they never thought they were going to make all these. And besides, not all the books were out yet.
yeah. I mean, when they made this first one, what were there 3 books out
3 or
at
4.
this point? I mean,
The last book didn't come out till 2007.
that's that's a big time commitment. Big time commitment.
And what's crazy too is that they found Daniel Radcliffe just like at a theater sitting behind them, and
Jesus
he
Christ.
had the look, and they're like, "That's the kid."
I mean, he looks like when I read those books in my head as a kid, that's what I envisioned he would look like,
Yeah,
Perfect.
Rupert Grint, maybe not the greatest actor, but he was born to play Ron Weasley.
I agree. And I think in throughout that series, both of those guys have parts that are like a little you definitely see
Acting
that.
wise,
Yeah, acting wise.
definitely in the first one. Yeah,
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Even as an adult, I can kind of look past that. It doesn't really bother me because it's such a grand scale of a world, that you just kind of brush that to the side. I don't
and
know.
they get better as they go along too. The acting gets better,
Yeah.
everything gets better. The only thing is that Hermione, the character, is like a geeky, ugly, nerdy
Oh, is she?
girl. Yeah, with frizzy hair, and like she's a geek. And they made her, at that time I was that age. She was hot.
I was
She
11.
was,
She was hot.
yeah. Well, she's probably older than you anyway, right?
Yeah. So I'm allowed to
I
say
mean,
that.
she Hermione, Emma Watson was like my first crush. That was like my sexual awakening.
Can't blame you
And
there, my brother.
but that's not who the character was. Granted, who gives a shit at this point?
Right.
But
I mean, like I said, wasn't a huge super fan of the books, but I mean, I couldn't think of any way you could cast those three roles better. I mean, it's great.
yeah, and to think they really had no acting experience.
That's incredible.
Daniel Radcliffe was in a BBC show, David Copperfield, a
Now,
television production, but Emma Watson and Rupert Grint were only in school plays.
so you've got this major book franchise that you're going to turn into a huge film series in your head. That was the plan or whatever, the
Yeah,
first few. You get John Williams to score it. You got Chris Columbus, and your lead actor is this fucking random kid who's really hasn't acted.
I
Incredible. Incredible.
I don't think people really put into perspective how much of a gamble it was.
It's a huge gamble.
It's
Huge
a big
gamble.
deal. And then, of course, you bring in Steve Clovis to do the screenplays, and he did all of them except for Order of the Phoenix.
Okay.
So he obviously needs a ton of credit
Of
for everything
course.
he did, because those books, they're tough to adapt.
They
There's a
are.
lot. There's a whole universe, and I think for the most part he did pretty well.
And
And
I think that was some of the issues that people still have with some of the later books is the books got longer and there was stuff that had to be cut out and readjusted to make it a film. And I know those first two books are, I believe, the shortest of the
they
books.
are,
So
yeah,
they could, I think that, maybe Spielberg had a point that it was easy, I guess. I don't know, because they knew everything was going to be able to fit.
yeah. I'm in the camp that I would watch 4 or 5 hour cuts of these
Oh
movies.
my God. Me
I
too. I
don't
mean,
even care.
yeah, me too. I never with any of these movies do I feel like, oh Jesus, it's dragging. Let's go. I mean, it's
Hmm.
very weird because I usually
Hmm.
get like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can kind of talk about different things as we go along, because directors changed, cinematographers changed,
Yeah.
even composers changed. Um, but we might as well start with number one,
All
Harry
right.
Potter and the Philosopher's Stone,
Yes, for the sophisticated English audience.
released in India, United States, and the Philippines as Sorcerer's Stone for whatever reason.
Because we're idiots and we need
Don't know the
to
philosopher?
no, sorcerer sounds like a magician. Veruca,
Do we not know what
sweetheart, I'm not a magician.
do we not know what a philosopher is?
Nope.
I don't know. It's always bothered me. But my box set has, well, at least the regular Blu-ray box set has philosophers on it.
Well, what's weird about that is they would have had to, they recorded like separate lines.
They did, because
It's just
there's
so odd.
there's a scene where they go to Hagrid's hut.
Yeah.
We know about the Philosopher's
Yeah.
Stone.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
about the Sorcerer's
So
Stone.
it's like, that's really strange. They had to,
Why would you, why would you put that I mean, obviously the United States is a massive
yeah.
market, but couldn't
I'm,
teach
sh-
us what a philosopher
I'm
was.
sure it was just all a marketing thing. Like sorcerer just sounds magical, I guess. I don't know.
I
Whatever.
guess.
That
Yeah.
first movie is there's
It's
so many scenes in that. I appreciate that one a little more each time I watch it because it was the introduction to all that stuff, you know? I
mhm.
mean, my
That one had all
God.
the heavy
Yeah,
lifting.
when the first time when fucking Hagrid comes knocking the door down, I mean, you're seeing the shit that you've read about as a kid, and it's all brought to life, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? And the scene when, the boats are going across the water and you see
Oh
Hogwarts
my
for the first
god.
time.
Oh my fucking god.
I mean, dude, like,
It's
when you watch that now, you
truly
realize how big of a deal that is, like
I,
how big of a deal that movie is.
and I think they hit me more now
I agree.
because I understand and appreciate it. Not to mention it makes me feel nostalgic for
Yeah,
childhood,
yeah,
but nostalgic in a way that doesn't hinder my ability to see what these movies are. I think that they're all good movies.
yeah.
I don't think they're good because I watched them growing up. I
No,
think
no.
they're
Yeah, I
just
mean,
they're good.
I definitely have some criticism with some of them, and there's some that I like a lot more than others. But man, I don't know. Just the other day when I was rewatching that first one, it's like all these big moments. And, God, when you see the Hogwarts Express for the first time, and you realize how big in scale all this shit is. It's fuck. It's amazing. Like I
Well, I
said, that
think
opening scene, incredible.
I think
God,
one of the amazing things too is, and I'm curious for like our British audience, or anybody who's over in the United Kingdom or anything like that. I didn't know who any of these people were in these movies. They were all foreign to me,
yeah, yeah,
but they're all big British, Irish,
right.
Scottish, whatever actors who were big already over there. Like they were all in different movies and shows
Yeah,
and stage actors but like I know these people as these characters because that's all I ever knew watching them.
I mean, yeah, Richard Harris, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a big deal. I don't know shit about him.
Yeah.
I still don't, but all I
He was
know
yeah.
is that first fucking shot when he comes walking out of the woods. Like, I got chills thinking about it, man.
He's not Richard Harris. He's fucking
No,
Dumbledore.
god damn, dude, so
Robbie
awesome.
Coltrane was big.
Yep,
He was in Goldeneye.
yep,
Warwick Davis, obviously. Richard Griffiths. John Hurt. I mean,
yeah.
John Alan Rickman. I
Alan
mean, the
Rickman.
cast is just incredible.
Oh man,
And I think it really helped me like get involved in the illusion because these were the characters. They were
yeah.
not
To
people that I
us,
knew.
yeah. I mean, it's not like seeing Tom Hanks or some big fucking American actor. It's these were all new people to us. So
And
yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like that's a big problem I have personally with these new Fantastic Beast movies is I know everybody that's in
Right,
these movies. Like
right.
the illusion is gone.
Yeah, no,
And
I
that's
agree with
not
that.
I wouldn't say it's the fault of the movies or anything because I'm older, I know more actors,
Right.
we're film guys, but
We're Blu-ray collectors, bud.
it's just it's lost its luster compared to what it was watching these movies growing up.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, what do you think about the first movie?
I I've always loved it, but I think
Yeah,
this most recent time I realized that it is like a masterpiece as far as
I think it's a,
fantasy movies go.
I think it's a masterpiece. I mean, the movies get more serious as they get older and the tones change. I mean, this is a kids movie; they're very young, and it's a
This
kids
is
film.
straight up a kids movie.
But man, it was so broad in scope, and this is the film that introduces us to all these things, and it's like I don't know, it's like one moment after the other. It's like heavy hitting moment, and they keep coming, and there's Hagrid. Oh, here's platform 9 3/4. It's like all this shit that you read about, and it's all brought to life like in a perfect way. And I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
it
get to
doesn't.
our we'll get to our ranking and shit at the end, how we feel about these movies. I don't think this is the best one, but I think this is my favorite of the series.
That's I would probably agree.
Yeah. It's so I
It's
don't
the one
know.
I know the most.
Yeah.
It's the one that introduced us to the world, and despite it being a kids movie, I think it's still like it doesn't take on the mature themes. It's just
Right.
magical.
Yeah. And 20 years old now. I mean, fuck, dude, it still looks really good. Some of
It
those
does.
Quidditch scenes, the CGI is a little,
The
whatever.
troll,
The troll,
know,
but man, it looks
parasitic Voldemort looks pretty good though. Still,
so awesome. I love that shit, man.
it's just it's really interesting watching it now though, and seeing where it was and where they were
And
compared to now,
where it ended up, yeah.
because when Voldemort's on the back of Quirrell's head, they're not thinking, okay, this is going to be Ray Fiennes a few years
Right.
from now.
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, like you said, that none of those other those ending books were out yet. They had no clue this was going to end in some big battle at Hogwarts. I mean, it's really amazing when you think about all that shit because it's yeah, who would have known which way it's going to go?
Yeah, I don't think Chris Columbus gets enough credit for what he was able to do with these movies
Yeah.
and what he started. What do you get thrown off by the different tones of the directors, or do you not mind it? Because once we get to three, everything changes.
Well, to me, it's and I know when you get to three, there's some different directors mixed in. What is three?
Alfonso Cuarón,
Okay, Alfonso Cuarón, and what's it? Mike
and then
Newell,
Mike Newell, and then David Yates has done everything
and then Yates
since.
is the rest of the way.
Mhm.
To me, three to the end all kind of blend together. There's two separate vibes. Those
Yeah,
first two movies, and then it gets dark. And
which
even
I
though
think
there's
is
some
perfect.
yeah, even though there's some different directors mixed in, those all kind of blend together for me as
Mhm.
being like kind of the same tone wise, but literally everything gets darker for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even the intros.
Oh
Which
yeah.
what's your favorite intro? Your favorite title card?
I gotta tell you, man, I just love the first one because
Yeah,
it's just the way it was. I mean, it was introducing us to everything, you know.
and it goes into his scar.
Oh man, God.
I j- I think about uh, I think about part two and just the Lily's theme playing in the background. There's like a
Dude.
sense of just absolute dread. It's quiet.
Yeah.
You
Now,
see you see Snape, and you just realize, fuck, this is. Whew.
let me ask you. I mean, because it's I'm sure you know what I'm saying here, but when you watch these back to back real quick and you knock them out in a week or whatever, you can kind of see where it starts to get a little like, okay, here's a year later. Oh, Harry's in more trouble. It gets a little, follows a formula kind of. Do you feel that way?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like,
There's
you
there's
know,
the beginning drama, whatever
yeah,
it is.
yeah,
It's the title card, and then
right.
it's
And I
yeah,
feel
it's
that mostly with one and two. It's like you have that big thing at the end with this the stone and all that, and then it's like if you go right into part two, oh, there's trouble at Hogwarts again, and you jump right back into oh, there, it gets a little when you watch them that way. They're I don't
mhm.
know, they're not intended to be marathon, I guess, but when they came out, you didn't watch them that way, like back to back to back, but. I always watch them like that. And it gets a little, you can start to see where it's following the formula, I guess, but whatever.
I wonder if it was partly because they didn't know where it was going, so they
Yeah,
almost treated each movie like a standalone thing.
that could be it. That could be it. I don't know.
Because
These are just I can never just watch one movie out of this series though. It's always like a big event for me.
I really don't ever feel like I'd want to watch them out of order.
I
even
agree.
though even though there's been times where I've just thrown in the last one just because, but
Yeah.
do I
No,
need a
it's
refresher on the series to know where it goes?
yeah, no, I agree with that. It's always like an event, you gotta knock them all out.
Well, just I think it's cool because Harry acts as like a surrogate for us because he doesn't know anything about the world either.
Right.
So he's getting the letters. He's all these weird things are happening. He's talking to a snake. He has weird visitors coming around, and
Yeah.
it's just like we're in Diagon Alley with him,
it's
with
fucking
Hagrid,
it's fucking
and they're
awesome.
they're introducing it to him while introducing it to us.
Yeah. And you already said it, but masterful, masterful score. Oh my God. I think about this music all the time. Okay, when he's in Ollivander's getting his wand, and when Ollivander has the realization that, oh shit, there could be some sort. Oh, I know, I know what's going on here. There's this little jingle that plays.
Oh my god.
I don't know. It's like not. I can't. I
Whew.
don't know what. I don't know what it's referred to in the actual track listing, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, it's perfect.
It's this the stepping stones are laid throughout the whole series though,
Yeah. No, they are.
because
They are.
he knows. I wonder if this wand is gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, why
Fuck.
would he get that inclination? It's
Right.
crazy.
Man. Fucking A. So good.
Uh like what do we even say about the first one? Like,
It's fantastic.
do we do we go through the step by step of the plot?
I mean, we'd probably be here 8 hours if we did that with each movie, but this is the one I'm the most familiar with because I've seen it over and over again. You know.
Yeah, and there was a time in my life where I didn't watch the movies. There was a
Yeah.
time, I think, after Goblet of Fire where I kind of took a break and
Right.
didn't watch Order or Half Blood Prince,
Yeah.
which is just like a really dark time. I don't know what happened to me.
A dark time.
But oh god, just it's hard to put into words.
It
It
is
really
because now it
is.
just makes me want to watch it. And I just watched them like a week ago, but I mean, I could watch that first one right now, you know?
Hmm. And then it takes you down a path, like it's step by step, Diagon Alley,
Yeah.
Gringotts, Hogwarts.
Yeah. Like I said, it's this one is so special because it's the first time seeing any of this stuff, you know? And the way it was brought to life, it didn't disappoint. You could now I watch it and think, Christ almighty, this was an expensive film.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it
you know, it's like Jesus.
125 million.
Oof. What is the most?
It,
I think Half Blood Prince is the most expensive in the
I
series.
think I think there's three that were 250,
Oof, man, oh man,
but this one made $1 billion. And oddly enough, this and the last one are the only two that ever made $1 billion.
Jesus. You know, I gotta say, I get maybe some criticism, but the one part I always kind of tune out in these movies. I mean, I watch it, I like it, but
Right.
I could do without so much Quidditch. I guess that's a little like
See, Quidditch in the first one is
it's
great.
awesome because
Yeah.
we haven't seen it before.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah,
especially because they think Snape is the one jinxing the broom.
yeah, and I also will say Quidditch makes no sense.
Why? The scoring
The
system?
scoring system makes no sense. What's the
Well,
point of even scoring points? Why don't they just have everyone trying to catch the snitch?
because if you get enough points, even if you catch a snitch, you won't win. You only get 150 points. You don't win.
What is
So
if you
so
score a
you could
goal? It's what 10 points.
10 points. So you could
Okay,
be up 200-0. If they catch the snitch, they still lose because
well,
they only
but
get
then why would you
150.
even try to catch a snitch if you were the losing team's
Because
seeker?
that's the only way the game ends.
Okay,
So the strategy is to score enough points to where you catch the snitch,
and then
it ends the game, and you win.
well, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Bloody hell!
Yeah, fucking
I'm your
learn the
host, Lee
lore.
Jordan.
I always thought Lee Jordan was a chick growing up. That boy's the Gryffindor.
There's a lot of weird things. I mean, this is hard to kind of go into a like a true outline with this episode because there's so much to say, but there's a lot of weird things in like these movies where like one movie you'll see certain kids that are featured prominently like just even as background they're just like students, and then the next year they're not there and you don't ever see them again. So I don't know,
Like
it's strange.
Colin Creevy in the second one.
Yeah, what happened to him? Why is he like suddenly out of school forever?
Well, I'm sure there's an explanation on the Wikipedia or
Yeah,
something,
and then
or
I
the
think it's like
Potterpedia.
I think it's Goblet of Fire. Yeah, I think it's Goblet of Fire. There's like this random black guy that like they cut to him a couple times and he even says a line and then like you don't ever see him again.
Not Dean, the one
No,
that Ginny
no,
gets with.
no. It's this other black dude in
I think I
that chick's class with the
what
fortune
about the
ball.
black dude? Yeah, in Trelawney's class, the
Yeah,
omen of
yeah.
death.
And then like you don't ever see him again. It's like what happened to that guy?
I mean, maybe he comes back because I know they made it a point in part two to bring back characters that had not been around in a long time.
Yeah,
Like you hadn't seen Pomfrey or
that's true. That's true.
Mrs. Pomfrey or
Yeah,
who's the herbologist or
Sprout.
the yeah, you didn't see Sprout until
Yeah,
that last movie.
like okay, Madam Hooch teaches them how to ride their brooms. She's never
Oh,
seen again.
yeah. I'd like to write her Madam Snooch.
I'm
She looks like a
guessing
cat too, which
I'm
is
guessing it's probably because like there was no other, she served no other purpose, and there
other
was,
than a background
yeah, that was
character.
it. The only prominent part she had was teaching them to ride brooms.
Yeah, who gives a shit about the third years riding broomsticks when they
No,
come in?
nobody
Well,
should care about whether she's in it or not, but I've seen them too many times.
it's not to mention that the actors and the characters change a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Obviously, Albus Dumbledore changed, which was probably the biggest
Oh,
of them all.
I
And
could spend an hour talking about that.
well, let's go ahead and talk about it because she changed majorly.
Richard Harris is awesome.
How they ever thought he was gonna make? Well, I guess they
I
didn't
didn't
think they were gonna
know.
make that
And I
many.
never thought about that until now, until we were talking about that, because we talked about it amongst ourselves. But when you get to Order of the Phoenix, and Dumbledore appears in the Ministry of Magic and he's like fucking dueling Voldemort, like there's no fucking way Richard Harris could have ever done that.
No, but I don't want to jump ahead, but that scene is like one of the best in the whole
Oh,
franchise.
that's one of my favorite movies in the franchise, honestly. But
Well,
yeah, I don't know. I love
I'm
Richard
trying to think of
Harris.
a way we could. There's like no real
No,
script to this,
we're not
but
going to be able to cover everything about every movie, or we'll be here forever. But yeah, that was a big part of the films was the Dumbledore thing. Richard Harris unfortunately died after Chamber of Secrets. He's just, I don't know. That was like exactly what I had in my head of what Dumbledore was like, just like a slow, methodical,
grandfatherly.
typical wizard, like, and
He's tired.
yeah, who's the other guy? Michael Gambon, is that
Michael
his name?
Gambon, yeah,
He's very good, very good.
yeah. It's just a
Just
different
different,
portrayal,
just different.
more
Um,
energetic,
Energetic, yes. I don't
quippy.
know. Yeah, it just okay. In Goblet of Fire when he chews him out for putting his name
Did
in
you
the
put it
can.
in the goblet of fire?
Okay, imagine Richard Harris doing
Dumbledore
that.
said calmly.
Yeah, could you ever imagine Richard Harris doing that, like, and
Well,
as his Dumbledore?
if they did it like the book where he says it calmly,
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know. I mean, it's unfortunate that he died. I think Michael Gambon he did a good job though. But I just when I think of Dumbledore, I think of those first two movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, he gets comedic. There's the part in Prisoner of Azkaban where they're about to use the time turner,
Yeah,
and he goes and walks over to Ron, and he like puts his arm on his hurt ankle.
yeah,
Like
that's right.
that's not something Richard Harris Dumbledore would have done.
No, no, I don't know. It's interesting. I like them both though.
Yeah, but not only that, but
Funny.
Tom changed
Well, I was
in
gonna say
Sorcerer's
Ian
in
McKellen
Sorcerer's.
turned down that role of replacing Richard Harris as Dumbledore.
Really,
Yes, and
I think that would have been too problematic.
there's an interview with him where Richard Harris was critical of Ian McKellen as an actor or something like that for something. I don't know.
He wanted to do it to spite him.
No, he said I couldn't possibly take over a role for a guy who, didn't really approve of me as an actor or something like that.
Wow,
And I also
wow.
wouldn't like that anyways because he would have been the main wizard.
Gandalf.
And yeah, I mean, that just doesn't work.
You can't do that.
No, anyways.
I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of characters changed. Tom, he plays a normal guy in Sorcerer's Stone, and then when you get to Prisoner of Azkaban, he's like a hunchback weirdo.
Yes. It is kind
Uh,
of interesting. I don't know. What about a Flitwick? Is that his name? Flitwick?
Flitwick changed.
Yeah.
The look completely changed. Obviously, still played by Warwick Davis, but
Yeah.
his look is completely different.
He goes from like a weird looking like creature to like a conductor with slicked back hair. It's fucking odd.
Yeah, and then also speaking of Warwick Davis, they changed the way Grip Hook looked.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah. So obviously with different directors comes different. I guess that's the issue you get when you have different ideas and different artists coming in.
Yeah, but how could they what would make them change the way
maybe they just
Flitwick looked? Like I
maybe
don't
they
get
just
that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they just didn't like how he looked like an old
Yeah.
miserly
It's
goblin.
so odd. It's like the same character but totally different looking. No, it's weird.
It is really weird. But yeah, Philosopher's Stone came out November 16th, 2001, 20 years ago.
Crazy.
That's crazy. But follow that up with a sequel. And spoiler alert. This is my least favorite one, Chamber of Secrets.
I think this is the weakest film. I
Yeah,
think it's the weakest story.
When I say least favorite, it doesn't mean I think it's bad. It's just
No.
if I had to choose one I don't like as much
Yeah.
as the others, it's this one.
It's just like kind of the whole thing's kind of weak.
And like you said, it kind of follows the same
Yeah.
formula.
It's like when you watch this directly after the first one, it's like, okay, so now there's a different problem. Oh, Hogwarts is in danger again the next year. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Actually, now that
Strange.
you're explaining it like that, I've had these thoughts before where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, the Hogwarts is in trouble
Yeah.
again. Harry
Yeah.
to the rescue.
Yeah.
But I feel like the threat in this one is way worse.
It definitely.
Like Muggleborns are being petrified.
Yeah. This is where Draco drops the mudblood word, which is the wizarding world equivalent of the N word or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah. Or like half blood.
Mudblood.
It's funny too because when he says that, you see Harry in the background. He reacts. He's like,
Yeah.
And then he goes to Hagrid's hut. He's like, what does it mean?
Yeah. So calm down. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Those are Nimbus 2001s. Where did you get those? A gift from Draco's father.
So you can do a whole episode of just fucking quotes and funny fucking weird moments and weird sayings.
Pretty much.
I'm half and half. My dad's a muggle. Mam's a witch.
Seamus doesn't get enough screen time. It does get a big scene later on down the line, though.
Yeah, I like when he gets pissed at Harry and what is it, Goblet of Fire or one of those?
No, I think it's Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix, yeah.
He's like, Daily Prophet saying a lot of things about you, Harry.
What are you getting on at?
Yeah, he's like, I suppose you believe him, just like your stupid mother.
Yeah, he calls his mom. He says his stupid mother. I like that.
Don't you dare call my mother stupid.
I actually think I rewound that and watch him call his mom stupid again. Shit's funny.
And he's like, sorry, Harry, you were right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, problem solved. Anyways, so Chamber of Secrets. I'm with you. I like all these movies. I think this is the weakest, though. It's just the weakest to me.
It just doesn't. I think maybe it's because I've seen it so many times, and it doesn't. It's not introducing the story like Sorcerer's Stone.
This doesn't move the story anywhere.
There's big plot lines, like the fact that Harry can talk to snakes.
Yeah, but
which meant nothing back then because we didn't know.
Like at the climax, though, when everything's said and done, it's like, okay, where's the story moved that it didn't move to after the first one? You know what I mean?
I think this one is better in hindsight.
Yeah.
Because, okay, who gives a shit about this diary? But then you find out later it's a Horcrux, so it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, yeah. I mean,
so I think I'm having an epiphany right now, but I feel like this one, maybe it's better in the hindsight of the entire story.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. It's fucking, I always watch it. It's a great time. Moaning Myrtle is kind of disturbing. I don't really like that character.
Yeah, she's a sexual deviant.
Yeah.
We get introduced to Polyjuice Potion,
which ends up being a big thing with the whole entire plot as the story unfolds.
It does, and I think we need to just mention real quick how much of a job it was by the guys who played Crabbe and Goyle to play
very good
Harry and Ron.
Very good.
And then the guy who plays Crabbe, he was, if you notice, he doesn't show up a little bit later in the series.
He got in trouble, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in prison.
Wow.
For London riot. He went to the London riots or something.
Jesus Christ.
And drug possession.
Yikes.
Yeah. And then Ginny, we get Ginny in this one.
You
want to talk about the relationship real quick?
Oh, I thought we were going to start judging the women of the Harry Potter franchise.
Oh, please.
Or we can save that till the end when everyone's of mature age.
True. Well, when were they? Goblet of Fire?
I don't know.
We won't go down that
tread lightly.
We'll wait to the end. there's a lot to choose from.
Anyways, I never really. Ginny is kind of a boring character to me.
She is,
Yeah,
and she's not in the books,
no. Even the
which is the
first
thing.
movie, she's like, good luck.
Yeah. And this one, she's like, Mommy, have you seen my jumper? And she
Yeah,
just looks at Harry.
yeah. I don't know.
Obviously, she has a she's a big deal to the story, but I feel like Harry had many other better choices.
Oh my god.
But then again, of course, it's the way it is in the movie. She's like super smart and charismatic and
First of all,
beautiful in the book.
Harry's beta boy. Okay, most famous wizard.
I saw him kissing Cho Chang, that's for sure.
Fucking took him long enough. The guy could have been. That guy could have been tapping all the hot chicks at Hogwarts.
He had to wait for her honey to die to get in
Man,
there.
what a pussy he is. How can you go fucking battle the Dark Lord, but you can't make a move on a chick? Vagina
Well, I think
McGinestein.
I think that's the point, is that women weaken legs.
Harry should have been slanging that thing around Hogwarts.
He needed a Mickey around to help him. But we also get the introduction of a couple. Well, I guess one of them is not a big character because you don't really see Gilderoy Lockhart ever again.
No.
He gets locked up in a loony bin.
Another thing that's very formulaic with Harry Potter is the whole defense against the dark arts teacher. Like, do they ever
cursed?
Did they ever do a background check or anything with these people? I mean, come on.
Like, you're telling me nobody knew that Lupin was a werewolf?
Right. Nobody knew Lupin was a werewolf.
Nobody ever looked into Gilderoy Lockhart's accolades.
That's Barty Crouch Jr. with a Polyjuice Potion is Mad Eye. I mean, come on.
Like, don't you think you have a vetting system to make sure people aren't on Polyjuice Potion?
Yeah, there should be, like, of all the shit that they could do, like, but if I lived in the Wizarding world, I would just constantly brew Polyjuice Potion, get away with so much shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think probably the best example of the defense against dark arts teachers is Umbridge, because that movie's like a political thriller in some ways.
It is. You're right. You're right.
The way that she weasels her way in is just like so. That makes sense.
And can I just say, without, we're jumping way ahead, but boy, that lady should have won a fucking Oscar for that, because she is easy to fucking hate in that movie. I mean, she does a fantastic job.
I believe her name is Imelda Staunton.
She's great.
Yeah, she's obviously, the people don't really see these movies as having those kind of performances, but how the fuck did Alan Rickman not get anything for the last one?
That's bullshit, man.
I don't hear people, other than people in the circle that enjoy the movies, I don't hear anybody like,
there was legit
a performance I really thought was good was Snape.
Yeah, there's legit great acting in this series for sure. Definitely. But anyways, Chamber of Secrets doesn't really, to me, move the needle a whole lot. It's a good time. Love it a lot. I really love that it's got the same vibe. That it really just feels like an extension of the first movie. It's got that Chris Columbus vibe to it. The chamber showdown at the end with the basilisk is pretty fucking cool. I mean, I don't know.
That is awesome.
Yeah. The whole, like, Tom Riddle, though, rearranging his name, like bashing us over the head with, he's Voldemort.
He's good with anagrams.
Yeah, let me spell it out for you so the audience knows that it's me, the Dark Lord.
I bet he's good at crossword puzzles.
Yeah. So, guys, kicks ass at Scrabble.
Well, I think, once again, that whole plot line gets better as it goes on.
It does. I agree.
Because he fucking hates his Muggle father. He hates the fact that he is half Muggle.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you when you finally see the whole series, and then I think the second one becomes a little more important, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's like you said,
it's like, oh God, they could have cut shit out of that movie. Like,
it's 240.
Yeah. Oh, someone else is petrified. Oh
no. Oh, Hermione, now I give a shit.
This is nice.
I'll kill you.
There's another guy that's there's another guy that's great, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
What is his name? Because he's good.
He's fucking awesome.
And he's good in
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Where is that young man's name? David Bradley.
Yeah, he's really good.
And he's a squib.
Wow.
He's the exact embodiment of somebody that thinks they're better than everybody else, and they're just a fucking bum. He's just a straight up bum.
Oh, yeah.
We also get an introduction to Dobby.
Yes, Dobby. Can I say something? The fuck? I noticed this the last time I watched it. Was Lucius gonna kill Harry at the end?
Yes, he was.
Holy shit! I never noticed that before. He's fucking about to drop the death curse or the killing curse on him, man. I'm like,
well,
what
and
the fuck?
At the time, we didn't know what the death curse was.
We don't know what that means. It's
I thought he was just
weird.
like, I thought he was clearing his throat.
He's like,
He definitely said, he definitely says Avada.
Holy shit! I never really picked up on that, or if I did, I don't know. But
Harry
like,
should have been.
I'm like, holy fuck! He was gonna kill him. That story could have ended right there.
Well, once again, Jason Isaacs as Lucius is just
oh my
incredible.
God. Oh my
Straight
God.
scumbag.
So good.
Just think of his introduction.
Yeah, holy shit.
I just think of his introduction at the bookstore.
Oh man, so
and
good.
Just well.
Yeah.
Weasley Senior.
So good.
Red hair, vacant expression.
Man, so
you
good.
must be a Weasley.
I think the house elf system's a little flawed though. You should actually have sneaking him a sock to free your house elf. That's bullshit. It should be more prominent than that. You have to like give him a shirt or something.
Okay, so you're pro elf slavery.
Yes, I think I think that's a bullshit way to free him. It's too easy.
But he gave it to him.
Yeah, I was like a sock. Get real.
Well, I mean, these were set in the 90s. I don't think we knew what.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. I'm just let me just make it clear that I am not pro goblin slavery or house elf slavery.
Shit, I'd own a house elf if I could. Not that fucking creepy one though. That's
creature.
Oh yeah, he's spooky.
Toby Jones as Dobby too.
Toby Jones,
pretty good. Fuck, we'll get to it, but Dobby is just like,
yeah. Oh, we got to move on, or we'll be here forever. So
yeah. Well, we're getting to where things change.
The next one is, I bet you if you ask 100 people that love Harry Potter, which is their favorite movie, I bet you like 60 of them at least would say part 3.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah,
it changed everything. The tone. Well, the actors in a lot of ways, the directors, everything. And while I used to think this was one of my favorites, it's kind of lost steam for me.
It's
recently.
To me, I used to not like it at all. I mean, I did. I like them all. You know, I didn't dislike it, but I'm just that time turner thing and the end.
And they never talk about it again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I like it though. Like you said, I think it was just a change in everything. Like, I know they get older, that comes with the territory, but everything's different. Hagrid has like a professor role and they fucking move his hut. It's like in a different place. It just throws me off, you know? I like the old Hagrid house.
The geography of Hogwarts and everything changes. Like the Whomping Willow is just
it's so weird.
Not next to the school like it was.
Yeah.
Which I guess that makes sense, because why would you put it next to a school where it could kill children?
I hate to say it, but it's like from 3 until the end, it's like they took all the light and like the brightness out of like the castle, and it's just like dark and dreary, you know?
I love it.
It's just the way it feels. Yeah. It's like, it's very different. It's very different.
I can't believe this movie came out in 2004.
Jesus, man. Some really badass parts. I love the shit with the Dementors. Awesome.
That introduction to the Dementors with that little quiet music playing. That's cool. Horrifying.
Because I remember reading that as a kid, and the part when they come on the train is like, whoa, you know, to see that brought to life was really cool and very well done.
What's your favorite game?
What do you mean game?
Out of the Harry Potter games.
Oh, like the video games?
Yeah.
The only one I played was the Sorcerer's Stone.
Really?
For PlayStation 1, yeah.
the Prisoner of Azkaban, the one that I remember the most playing.
I mean, I liked the one that I played, and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna buy that new one. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
But
We'll see how it goes. But obviously the plot throughout this one is Sirius Black. Who is this guy? Maybe one of Gary Oldman's best performances.
It's good. Gary Oldman is just always good, like the guy's underrated.
I think the whole showdown in the Shrieking Shack between everybody is awesome.
I appreciate that a little bit. Every time I watch it, I appreciate that a little bit more. That's definitely the build up. That fucker that plays what's his name? The rat. Who's the guy?
Timothy Spall?
Yeah, what's his name? What's his nickname? Is that
Peter Pettigrew?
Peter Pettigrew.
Oh, he's Padfoot.
Padfoot. Yeah, creepy looking fucking bucktooth idiot.
Yeah.
Good casting, I guess.
I was thinking about it watching it the other day. So Ron went through most of his life with a man on his lap.
That's right. He was stroking a man.
Watching him jerk off all the
time. That's funny. Yeah, you're right. Boy, he fucking saw all sorts of shit.
He did.
Yeah.
And he was on his lap on the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, that's funny though, because I remember reading that book, and when you find out that it's his rat the whole time, that was out of nowhere. You're like, oh shit, So it's cool.
And he's got to be top 5 scummiest people in the whole series.
Oh, he's every time he shows up, he's just doing some shady shit, or you just want to knock him out,
But what a twist to think this whole time that Sirius Black is the one that sold him out. Nope, no. It's this guy named Peter Pettigrew, who's a rat that Ron owned this whole time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not my favorite just because I feel like there's every one of those movies to me has a big moment, That one, I guess, would be the confrontation in the Shrieking Shack, but I don't know.
And the fact that Harry attacks Snape. Somebody else who has been looking out for him the whole time.
That is true. The whole thing with Snape is pretty interesting. I still kind of, I don't know, every time I watch it, I'm like, okay, I guess now it kind of makes more sense, I guess, but I don't know.
I think that's got to be my favorite character in the whole series.
Severus. Alan Dickman.
Who wants to watch me take off Snapey's trousers?
Oh, shit. Fucking
plot twist. James Potter's a dickhead.
Oh, man.
Plus, we get the introduction of Remus Lupin and Trelawney, who is not as circumstantial as David Doulis is.
She sucks. I'm glad she got fucking kicked out in part 5.
Yeah, I don't really care for the whole weird thing when Harry goes back and talks to her. Servant and master will be reunited once more.
Yeah, I don't know. It just bugs me. I agree. Even when I was watching that the other day, I'm like, oh God. I don't know.
What is this crap?
Yeah, what is this? I miss the fucking wizard's chess and the fun kid vibe in the first two. I don't know. What do you think of the werewolf transformation?
I mean, it looks pretty good.
It's not bad.
Do you not like it?
It's just very CGI heavy.
Yeah, they can't all be American Werewolf in London.
No, I wanted to see some practical transitions.
Yeah, I assume the whole thing is CGI.
It's pretty CG. It's good though. I like the movie.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
It's a shift in tone, I mean, it is.
It is a shift in tone, and I don't really have much more to say about it because it's. I think it kind of gets lost for me now.
Hermione start getting hot? This movie, part 4,
2,
1.
Definitely 1 year old.
She started to come into her womanhood a little bit in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Definitely 3, but I think 4 is when I really
Yeah, she's in that dress.
Oh my God. Yeah, that whole thing was.
You're sick. She was 14 in that, or 15. That's gross.
Yeah, and I was 13.
Well, you're 30 now, so that's gross.
Statute of limitations.
Anyways, Prisoner of I still don't understand why it's everyone's favorite. I don't get it.
I think it's a change in tone.
I don't understand.
I think it at the time was the most circumstantial.
Yeah. I don't know. When did we first get a shot of Azkaban? Is it in this movie when they take Dumbledore? Is this when he goes to Azkaban? Or
No,
Hagrid? Hagrid, I mean.
Hagrid goes to Azkaban and Chamber of Secrets because he
Okay.
comes back at the okay. That is maybe the best part of Chamber of
We didn't even
Secrets is
talk
when he
about the
comes
endings.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good ending. Yeah.
is when he comes back and he's like, "Sorry, I'm late."
Yeah. Everyone hugs him. That shit gives me a little lump in my throat.
There's no Hogwarts without you, Hagrid.
Oh,
Oh my,
man. Even the first one. I love the ending of the first one too. I'm not
it's kind
going
of
home.
bullshit.
Not really.
Oh my god.
Oh,
you leave with us.
dude, Dumbledore is shady as fuck for that.
The point shaving.
Oh, I would have been so pissed. God.
Why are the other houses applauding? Why do they care that
Slytherin?
Do they just hate Slytherin?
We hate Slytherin.
You're probably a Slytherin.
Probably. I would tell him to put me in that house, the fucking stupid hat.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, fucking whack shit. Nobody cares about Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. If you're not in Slytherin or Gryffindor, get fucked.
You're just like everybody else, a loser.
Slytherin. Not Slytherin. Not Slytherin, eh?
Are you sure?
Okay, so anyways, part 4.
Part 4.
Goblet of Fire.
The tone changed in 3, but this is where everything gets dark.
The last 30 minutes of Goblet of Fire, I think, is my favorite sequence of events in the series. Like my favorite.
From where? From when they go into the maze?
Well, when he takes the port key, when they touch the cup
okay.
and the port key. Because that's really where shit changes big time with the series.
That is the turning point.
And it's fun, dude. That shit is fucking dark. Like there's some like blood magic and shit. And blood and like the bone of his dead father.
Of the father.
Like that shit is fucking
blood of the enemy and then flesh of the servant.
That's some dark shit, man.
That is dark stuff. And we get Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
And I think he's fucking awesome.
He's great. Before we get to that, I mean, a lot of crazy shit in this. The Quidditch World Cup. What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome. And I think it expands the world. I think you get to learn about these other schools that are out there. It's not just Hogwarts.
So is like Voldemort, like, does everyone know who he is? Like, does the school where fucking Victor Crumb goes to, do they know who Voldemort is? You know what I'm saying?
I think he's just an enemy to magic kind in general, just anybody magic.
I always wonder, like, do the people and like, does Victor Crumb know who fucking Harry Potter is? You know, like, have they heard, you know what I mean? Like those other schools.
That's a good question.
Like, or is that just,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's a really good question.
The Quidditch World Cup thing is pretty breathtaking. Even like it's cool.
Yeah, when Fleur walks down the aisle, yeah, it's pretty breathtaking.
Yes.
Our hot bitches from Beaubaton.
Yeah, I don't know about some of those intros, like the weird effect on the sticks. You know, you know what I'm talking about, the motion blur. Like, why do they do that? Why do you have to see that?
Like blowing the fire out of the wands is cool, but
yeah.
And then Victor Crumb is so fucking cool that he walks with what's his name? Who's the headmaster of the school?
Oh, what is
Karkaroff?
Karkaroff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Karkaroff. Yeah, he's so fucking cool. And how is he? Is he like a on the youth Quidditch team? Because he's still in school. So how is he playing in the Quidditch World Cup?
Dude, they talk about him like he's the Michael Jordan of Quidditch. So why the fuck?
But he's still in school. Why didn't he skip school like LeBron?
Oh, there's some of this shit you have to just suspend your disbelief a little bit, I guess.
Oh well, that scene at the Quidditch World Cup where the KKK Death Eaters show up.
Yeah,
that is so fucking sick. That's and awesome. Dark. And they're chanting the whole time.
Yeah, this movie's dark. It's a dark movie.
Tonally and visually.
Really changes everything. I mean, it really does.
It was the first one to get a PG-13 certificate in the US and 12A in the UK, which I assume is pretty much the same thing.
got
But
Robert Pattinson as Cedric Diggory.
yes, what do you think of him in this?
I think he's good. I think
Yeah,
he's fine. I mean, it's
fine.
yeah,
I think anybody could have played it.
I agree.
Um, but when he
mm,
dies, holy shit.
yeah, the one part of the okay, so the Triwizard, what are they, Triwizard
Tournament.
tournament? What do they call them? The events or the quests or whatever?
The events,
The
yeah.
events. Okay, I think the one with the dragon's really cool. The shit where they go under the water with the mermaids.
Don't like that one as much.
This before I watched this the other day, like this was like my second favorite. Like I had Goblet of Fire very high.
I think this is the one that's most different from the book, and I think because of that, most people don't like this one as
Yeah,
much.
you can tell they're trying to fit a lot into a little time that they had, but
Yeah, it's
yeah, I
not
don't
my
know.
favorite.
No, the last 30 minutes they'll make up for some of the shortcomings, I think, because
Definitely.
this is where we
And
finally see the Dark Lord. Oh my god,
and he's very different than what he was.
it's fucking awesome, dude. When you finally get that shot of him like fully put together again.
And
Oh,
he like opens his eyes and they're snake eyes
oh my
for a
god,
moment. And
fucking
he's
awesome.
so fucking dark, and his delivery,
Oh man.
everything he oh, Harry,
Oh, dude,
almost forgotten you were there.
so good. Fuck, dude. Like seriously, one of could be my favorite moment of the series when he's brought back to life, I guess. Wow. Epic shit.
I don't know if anybody else could have played it the same way.
No, and this is where we are introduced to the killing curse, really. The beginning of the film. The
Yeah.
caretaker or whatever in the house next door, the muggle. And then Cedric.
Yeah.
Cedric
But
gets it.
then you see it,
Yeah.
but you don't know about it until later on in the movie when Moody starts talking about
Right,
it.
right. And then Cedric gets it, which is like the first kind of shocking.
Immediately,
Yeah,
immediately. There's
yeah,
no buildup. They get there, and then he's just like, it's almost like, what the fuck just happened?
yeah. It's when you're watching that, it's like, whoa. Okay, so now they're gonna start killing people off.
So
This is some
now things are getting real.
yeah, this is some dark shit. And this is really where part three was heading in that direction, but like part four is fucking dark. And the last half hour for sure.
There's a few moments in the series where I dread watching them just because
Yeah,
it's when they go into the maze, like that whole thing, because I know
yeah,
it's coming,
yeah.
and the Dobby thing, that one's really rough for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I I hate that part so
Yeah,
much.
it's like
Of all the people,
yeah,
that's
and
the
like you
one.
don't really have an emotional attachment to Cedric after one movie, but like just seeing like a student dying like that, like being murdered, is like, whoa, holy shit.
Just so unceremoniously too.
Yeah. I will say it wouldn't be much of a series if this didn't go on, but man, dude, there were so many chances for Harry to be killed. Like, wow, holy
That's what I
shit.
was going to bring up earlier. Like, he is maybe one of the luckiest people
Yeah, they dicked
that
around with
there
it way too
is.
long. Like, oh, just end him already.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's that part when their wands connect in the fourth for the first time, and you could see that, like,
and then the
whoa,
the ghosts of the people that were killed with the wand, including his parents,
what's he say?
including
Bring my body back to my father.
bring my body back.
Yeah.
Bring my body back to my father.
Oh, dude.
And then when he does, and a great minute-long performance by whoever played his dad.
Uh-huh. Yeah, really, really good.
My boy.
That's my boy. What's this? What's the blonde chick's name? Fleur?
Fleur Delacour. Cho Chang,
Uh-huh.
the first real crush of the series.
God, Harry should have been fucking sticking his wand all up in that.
That's gross. That's disgusting. But yeah, we get more of the Polyjuice Potion because we find out that Moody is been Barty Crouch Jr. the whole time.
This also bothers me too. Like we talked about, it's like, oh my god, again. Something sketchy going on.
The whole time he could have taken out Harry.
Yeah, that's true. No, instead he teaches about all the killing curses.
But I guess at this point, Voldemort knows that he's part of him, like he's a Horcrux, so he can't really. He
I
has to
get
be the one to kill him.
there's like a
That's
lot of
why he
shit.
wants him to bring him to the graveyard.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. It gets a little like I don't want to say convoluted, but shit starts to hit the fan a little bit at the end of this film, and it's
It's like a
fucking.
really down tone at the
It
end. There's no
is.
happiness to
There,
it.
it's
They have the little Dumbledore gives a little speech about Cedric. He was fierce,
no. Is
fierce friend.
has there ever been any other series of films in history that takes 8 movies to build up to like a fight? Because that's what's going on in this. It takes 8 films to build up to a confrontation. It really does, you know.
Well, the confrontation.
Yeah,
I mean, they're technically fighting.
yeah, but I mean, it's like, when you get to the last part of the last movie, it's like, holy shit, this is what it's been building up for. Like, there's a lot of content building up towards the end game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all we can say about this one. Not my favorite, but
it's good.
it
They're
moves
all
the
good.
story along.
Yeah,
It
they're all good.
introduces important key
See,
moments.
that's my thing. Like this one progresses the story at the end, where like Chamber of Secrets is like, okay, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, we know Tom Riddle is
right,
Voldemort, but why do we give a shit who he was before?
right. So it is what it is.
But this is where no way it's not this one, it's the next one where we find out more about where he came from. This one, without giving too much away, is high on my list. Order of the Phoenix.
Mine too. It's fucking awesome.
Not only does the tone change, it gets way darker. You get a different director who obviously has a style that he's used since then.
Yeah. Do you like how they let the same person finish out the series directing wise?
I personally do because I love his vision for it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I didn't, then I would have wanted somebody else. But because
Right.
I like his vision so much, I'm okay with it.
No,
I think maybe
agree.
when they went on to the Fantastic Beast movies, they should have done something different.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm glad they gave it to somebody to kind of
Whoa!
wow, highest quality special effects here, folks.
It looks like the troll in the dungeon.
It's just probably a mistake to use backgrounds, but whatever. Anyways,
I think it's awesome. It's better than seeing my fucking mirror.
anyways, so yeah, what were we talking about?
The tone, same director.
Yeah, no, because I think those last movies are all kind of it needed to be one person, or it would have been all over
It
the place.
needed to be cohesive.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. What do you think about Luna?
Looney Lovegood.
Yeah.
She's definitely attractive. I'll say that. I don't know if I could be around her for very long.
No, she doesn't do much for me. Stupid.
Her dad's a weirdo.
Oh yeah, he is.
She's the fucking quirky character of it. The one that everybody relates to.
Yeah,
she's so quirky. And I don't dislike her or her character. Like obviously there's gonna be weirdos in Hogwarts, but she's definitely the one for like I'm so different than everybody else. I'm quirky. I relate to Luna.
Yeah, she's the autistic character.
So is her dad.
The whole plot of this one is, shit's hit the fan in part 4. They're assembling a student army to take on the Dark Lord.
While at the same time, the political people, the government of the magic world is trying to silence that, is trying to hide that he's back. And this is probably like we said earlier, the political thriller of the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. Oh yeah, well, we got to talk about, dude, the beginning of this movie with Dudley. Like he's like what the fuck is he wearing?
Gangster.
Like I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like this part of the film at all. I don't like. Ew, no.
Why? Maybe that's how he was.
Maybe, but it's just strange. I don't like seeing all that in the.
Well, he's also supposed to be a kid in this too.
Yeah, it's just odd. But that's the whole plot of the movie, because like Harry casts a fucking Patronus or whatever, and
Yeah, in the Muggle world.
I still don't understand the rules about doing magic outside of school, but
Can't do
whatever.
it unless
Yeah,
you do it to blow up your aunt.
yeah. Oh, that's right, Trunchbull.
Yeah.
Would you fuck her for a chance to own?
Yes, just don't even say anything
If you
else.
could own the screen used Elder Wand prop, would you bang Pam Ferris?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, I
I'd
would too.
bang her just for the opportunity to look at it.
Okay,
I'd bang her for the opportunity to bang Pan Ferris.
okay, fair enough. Just not in
Shave Ferris.
just not in her trenchful attire. That's a little too much.
Yeah, I just want to get in her trench.
Gross. Anyway, go ahead, discuss
Well,
this.
so
We're
basically,
going to be on this forever if we go at this pace.
yeah. So essentially, what happens is Harry uses a Patronus in the Muggle world, and he's on trial. It's a quick trial, that's for sure.
It is, and because he's Harry Potter, well, he's exempt from everything.
Well, because he's Harry Potter, I think the Ministry of Magic wants to make an example of him.
Yeah,
especially because he's got information and he's saying all this stuff about Voldemort.
I have another problem. Like,
we're not here for problems.
Shouldn't the Ministry of Magic be like super hard to infiltrate? And shouldn't it take more than just a Polyjuice Potion to walk through the fucking front door and
it seems like their security measures are it's like what Harry says in part 2. It seems that despite your exhaustive security measures,
that's true. Yeah, they always manage to just kind of end up right where they need to be without much of a problem. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, and they're using Dementors to like torture people.
Yeah, kind of weird.
It's starting to get real weird. But anyway, Dumbledore comes to take care of that whole situation. He does it real fast, and then you find out about something called the Order of the Phoenix, which is a secret organization founded by Dumbledore with a bunch of magical good people.
Yes.
And Harry wants to join up.
Yes.
Because he wants to fight Voldemort. And they're like, no, you're too young. You can't do that.
Who's in the order? Molly Weasley, Sirius Black,
Remus, Tonks. Who is the black guy?
Oh, yeah. Who is that black guy?
He is, I'll find out real quick. Because he's like the main one I think of. Because he's always at like the front of the group.
Yeah, he just like suddenly appeared in that movie and then was there the rest of the way. Anyways, though,
Kingsley Shacklebolt.
Okay.
Yeah, George Harris. Sin. Oh, sorry. Talk about the Beatles, and you're like,
yeah. As soon as you mention a Beatle name, whoa.
But I think this is the one that starts to take on at least the beginnings of the mature themes throughout the rest of the series.
This movie, much like the predecessor, it's, to me, when I think of this movie, I think of the end. I think of the climax, the last half hour, I guess, that's
my fucking God.
So good,
Well,
basically Harry's training these fellow students in the what is it, the room of requirement? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the room of requirement. They make up Dumbledore's army.
Yeah, so they're like he's trying to teach these fucking bum ass kids how to get on his level and do something.
Because they're pretty much like suppressing the students from learning anything useful.
Yes, Umbridge. Wow, what a bitch.
Oh, what a performance. But we also learn, I don't know if we learned this in the movie, but the connection between Harry and Voldemort, how they can see into each other's minds.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that, Snape starts teaching Harry occlumency, which is the way to like block him out.
Right.
And this is when we first find out about Harry's dad being a dick.
That's true. Yes.
Because he jumps into Snape's mind and sees him getting bullied.
Bullied the fuck out of him.
Let's see if I can take off Snape's trousers. All right, sure. All right, gay. But
the whole thing of this movie is Harry saw Voldemort at the end of Goblet of Fire, but nobody else was there except Cedric, who fucking died. So
Yeah.
nobody believes Harry. They're thinking, shut the fuck up. He's not
What do they
back.
think killed Cedric
Well, they're
though?
in insane denial about Voldemort, throughout the entire series, basically. So
Hmm.
they wanted nothing to do with that. Nobody believes him.
I remember reading this book. Like I remember specifically finding out when Sirius died and just being
Oh
like,
my,
what the fuck?
oh my God.
But the part that I don't really understand, and maybe you can make sense of it,
I
is
probably can't, but I'll try.
the fact they have this whole room full of
Yeah,
full of
I don't even know what those are. Like
well,
crystal balls.
they're crystal balls. They're fuck, what's the word? I just had it. Oh my god, I'm sorry. They're prophecies. Like they're prophecies in Snow Globe. Just
Okay.
like, and if you destroy it, like the prophecy is broken.
I
Like
really don't
so,
understand. I don't know what
I
that
don't
means.
get. I don't understand the prophecies. Like a prophecy is something that's more
Yeah.
in the
I
cloud.
just think
It's
it's cool when they're in there fucking running around and doing spells and shit and all those glass balls are
mhm, breaking balls.
breaking balls.
But then they get to the they
Wait,
get into
is it in the part 4 or is it the beginning of part 5 when it cuts to Azkaban and we see like Bellatrix and all of them escaping?
it's this one.
Okay, that's a cool scene.
It is a cool scene.
That's a cool shot because like throughout the series, like Azkaban, that's like the place you don't want to fucking go,
Yeah,
And the way they make it look like in the middle of the water, in the middle of the ocean, it looks like
dreadful.
lifeless. I
Hmm.
love that shot though, like when the fucking wall crumbles and she comes kind of, yeah, fucking awesome.
So
She's really good, by the way.
let me ask you this,
I would fuck her in the
Bellatrix.
worst way.
Yeah, I was like, you down?
Oh my god, yes. Even with those
I would.
crusty teeth.
Oh, I would let her stick her
Yeah.
Phoenix dragon heartstring wand up my
Yep.
butt.
Yep. I don't care how smelly she is in Azkaban.
I'd like to get in her ass, kabam. But anyway, we get to this once again. This last 30, 40 minutes
Yes,
are fucking incredible.
they are.
So some of my favorite in the whole series
Yep.
because you have a spell battle with the Order, with the Death Eaters, with
Awesome.
Sirius, and Sirius fights it.
Bites the bullet.
It
Um,
fucking sucks.
yes. And then that shot of Danny Radcliffe screaming, the audio muted.
Silently.
Very
Oh,
good. Very good.
and he just floats away.
Yes.
It's so real. It's so subtle. But
Yeah.
when Gary Oldman gets hit with the spell, and he does like that,
Yeah.
he does like that,
Oh,
like he feels like there's just
yeah.
something about that little subtlety that
And
really sells it, and I love that.
I love when Bellatrix runs away screaming that she killed him too. That's some great psychological shit.
Like she's
And
just a fucking troll.
yeah, and Harry had a point where if he wanted to, he could have hit her with the spell, but
He
Harry wouldn't
didn't.
do that
He
because he's
wouldn't.
a pussy.
Well, and she's looking up at him like, please spare me.
He should have just whipped it out.
His dick.
Those like
But
would have been like I know that goes against the whole character and whatever. Like, fuck, it would have been cool if he casted that one time though.
yeah, it
Oh
would have been
man,
better than the way she actually dies.
yeah, like fuck. I was just when I was watching it the other day, I'm like, fuck, I wish he would have killed her, man. That would have been awesome.
But probably my favorite part of the whole movie is the duel between Dumbledore and Voldemort.
Oh, so awesome.
It's I and with these David Yates ones, it starts to introduce a lot more handy cam, a lot
Yep.
more a lot less of like a pivoted camera angle. There's
Right.
a lot more steady cam. It feels very almost like documentary style in a
Yeah.
way. And the battle, there's no music, which I love. And it's just a fierce,
It's
battle
it's
between
awesome.
two masters.
And it's at that point when you realize the original Dumbledore could have never pulled that off. Richard
You could have
Harris, the
never pulled
actor.
it off.
It's kind of
And
I don't know.
I like the part throughout the fight though where Dumbledore keeps pushing Harry back, like
Yeah,
to get away because
it's
he keeps
awesome.
wanting to get involved. And then
When
what?
Dumby conjures up that water, ooh,
Ooh.
fucking awesome.
And then when Voldemort takes everything in and just
Oh,
and all the glass breaks and
dude.
falls at
See, and that's the point where then the staff from the ministry see,
Cornelius
yeah,
Fudge.
yeah, they see that, okay, he's back. Finally. No more denial. They know he's back. So it's a great
Mm-hmm.
movie. It's the thing about this series. Every one of these movies is good. Like, there's not any one particular that's like, oh, this movie's fucking awful, you know? Like,
Right.
man, they're all good in their own way, you know?
And I feel like all these later ones have circumstance. There's
Yeah.
something that happens
Yeah.
in all of them. But moving on to Half Blood Prince. I don't think a lot of people like this, but
Crazy. You all are crazy if you don't like this.
I
I think it's people
really
that read the book that don't care for the movie.
maybe, and I think a lot of people see this one as like the young adult version because there's a lot of like relationship stuff going on in this, like the
Okay.
Lavender Brown Ron thing,
Okay. That's
Hermione
true.
and like
That's
her
true.
and Ginny and Dean, all this. There's like high school drama shit going on,
There is, but if you're in
which I don't
school,
care.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's that
they're
shit
in
happens,
school.
you know. I don't know. I never read these books, these final few books, so I don't have anything to base them off of. I just like the movies, you know.
Hmm. But everything gets darker. The Death Eaters kidnap Mr. Ollivander.
Yeah, this is where the story really kind of. There's a lot of shit you have to pay attention to, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
because
you could
I didn't realize that for the longest time.
no, I mean, you could get lost if you're not paying attention, especially at the end of the movie. You know, there's a lot of shit that the plot, the end game is definitely starting to take form here for sure.
Yeah, definitely true. Um, so I didn't realize this too, but Lucius goes to Azkaban, and
Oh shit.
Voldemort chooses Draco to carry out the mission. So that's why he does it.
Oh, okay.
And then
Yeah, and at
that's
the
when they
whole
bring
beginning
in
of the movies where Snape's taking
the
the oath or
unbreakable
whatever.
vow.
Yeah, the vow.
Yeah, which Narcissa,
Oh my god, there's some hot
God,
chicks in these movies, man.
they are. Can we rate
Fuck.
them now?
Yeah, Maggie Smith, number one.
Number one,
Uh,
Miriam Margolyes,
who's
Professor
that?
Sprout.
Oh yeah, she's a sprout, all right. Uh, anyways, keep going. We're gonna be here all day.
But this is where we meet a character who, at this point, probably know nothing about. But Horace Slughorn is
Yes,
he is kind of a major character to the
he
whole
is.
thing.
He is.
Well, I guess they're trying to get him to come and be the potions professor, but I think what the issue, I think the end game, because Dumbledore he's playing puppeteer the whole time,
He is. He is.
and what he's trying to do is he's trying to get Harry and Slughorn to be close so that
The
Slughorn will reveal some secrets.
the end game plot of Harry Potter gets a little complex. It really does.
It does.
If you're not just paying if you're not paying attention, like, oh, you know, wizards, whatever. Like, there's a lot going on. And
Mhm.
honestly, every time I watch these, I kind of pick up on some other things that maybe I kind of didn't, you know, I missed maybe. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot going on. At this point in the series, you have to start paying attention for sure.
You'll miss a lot.
Yeah.
They're not slow, but there's times where like everything just comes at you real quick. There's
Yeah.
always information being thrown at you. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this. There's Ron making the Quidditch team. There's
Yeah.
everybody's in love with everybody.
Right.
But essentially, the big moments are Harry trying to find out what Slughorn told Voldemort about Horcruxes,
Yes. This is when the Horcrux thing starts to come into play.
which I
Really
was
from
confused about for a long time.
yeah, really from here until the end. That's the big plot. Yeah, and there's you know what I always remember that when this book came out, I remember there's a guy uploaded a video on YouTube where they drove around to midnight releases yelling out spoilers.
Oh my
I
god.
just vividly remember they drove past Barnes and Noble. The guy yells out the window, "Snape kills Dumbledore," and then you hear this chick in the background go, "No!"
No.
Oh, I fucking
That's such
love
a
it.
fucked up thing to do.
It is like, oh my god, but yeah,
But essentially, what happens is Slughorn he's given Dumbledore a memory that's not true,
Yeah.
where he basically tells Tom Riddle, get out of here. I'm not telling you anything about this.
Yeah.
And then Harry's able to convince him to tell him the truth. And he
Is this
told him,
okay? This is like the movie where we see the shots of Dumbledore like going to the orphanage and talking to. Okay, so they
Mhm.
really you start to get the whole kind of picture of Voldemort here.
Yeah, and where he came from, and
Yeah, and a lot of times when
when he
movies
becomes
do that,
evil.
it doesn't always work, but I think that works well. Like,
I think it does. Yeah,
yeah, I was just thinking that when I watched them a week ago. I'm like, okay, this, it's not cheesy. It seems like important to the story. So
it's essential.
yeah,
Like, what are these, and how did he create them,
yeah, definitely.
and how much of what's happening is because of Slughorn
Right.
and the knowledge he gave to him, which I'm sure he could have, like, when they eventually got internet in the wizarding world, he could have looked up what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is when Ginny and Harry finally hook up too.
Finally, Harry's doing something with his fame.
Yeah,
Jesus,
finally.
what a shame.
Gee, you can have anybody in the world, and you go after Cho and
That's
Ginny,
true. Shit, I
your
would be
best
getting that.
friend's sister.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's a good point. Man,
It's disturbing. But this is when we find out, oh, Tom Riddle's diary was a
so
that was a
yes,
Horcrux.
this is
So
what
it
you were saying
matters.
earlier. Yes, suddenly Chamber of Secrets becomes a little more meaningful. I like that, by the way,
Yeah.
because if they didn't call back to that, whatever.
But then once again, we get like a big climax scene where Harry and Dumbledore go to that cave
I
to get
swear
the
that seems like
locket.
some Lord of the Rings shit, doesn't it?
It
Doesn't it
seems
seem
out of
like it seems
place.
out of place? Yeah, that's what I
It
was
see
thinking. Like, it seems like something from fucking Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
because these things are called inferi,
Yeah,
which are essentially their like dead bodies that have been bewitched and controlled, which is
yeah,
not something
it's cool.
you.
I
Yeah, the
like it.
scene is great when he's
Yeah,
like flicking the fire
yeah. It's
wand
just weird.
around.
Again, I was just like imagining Richard Harris doing that.
No, wouldn't have
No,
happened.
and that fucking shit that they're drinking, that potion that he's drinking out of the little chalice thing or whatever.
It looks good.
It does.
It looks like the clear Gatorade.
Looks very refreshing.
Yeah. For some reason, I think of it as like it looks clear, but it has a grape flavor to it.
Damn,
I,
I've been
I
slurping
don't
that right up.
I don't know why.
Oh shit.
um, but after this happens, they go back to the school, and this is, I mean, things
Biggest part of
fucking
the
fan.
most shocking part of the series up until this point, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and from Harry's perspective, he still doesn't know what's going on. So
Yeah, he's been left out of the loop.
he sees it as Snape murdering Dumbledore, which is what happens. I mean, boy, when you watch that for the first time, Snape kills him. Pretty fucking awesome,
Pretty
honestly.
fucking awesome.
Man, oh man.
I If he fell that far, though, I feel like he'd be splattered.
Probably, yes. Again, I guess you're not supposed to. Yeah, his body was in a nice shape, considering he fucking
There
fell
was
off
no
the top of.
blood.
Yeah, fell off the top of a castle. But man, it's cool. And then I love how they like run, Bellatrix, and they're running through the Great Hall, kicking shit, and then they fucking burn
Mm-hmm.
down Hagrid's house. And what the fuck,
Mm-hmm.
dude? Shit's fucking badass.
Well, one thing we didn't talk about is when they're in the potions class, Harry comes across a book
Yes,
signed by belonging to the Half Blood Prince,
yes,
who obviously we don't know this whole time. It helps him in a lot of ways. He learns a new spell, Sectum Sempra, which essentially lacerates people.
oh
It's
yeah,
just like
cast that on Draco. God damn, he would have killed him if there was nobody
he
there to
would
save
have.
him.
He would have been dead if the one person who created the spell wasn't there.
Yes,
He
yeah.
would have been dead. But
See,
I
this
think
is
it's awesome because he doesn't know he's just like a lost person. He's just
yeah,
doing things. He doesn't know what he's
yeah.
doing
From
and the
his
power he has.
At this point, he doesn't know what's going on. He's just going from this fucking book that he read. But it's very intricate though, because then you think from Snape's point of view, when he sees that he's cast that spell, he has
He
to know at that
knows.
point. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking cool. There's a lot of layers to it,
Yeah.
And then when they have the confrontation outside of Hagrid's burning house, and he's like, you dare use my spells against me or something like that. Fucking hell, dude.
Yes.
Oh my
I
god.
am the half blood prince.
Oh
Oh my
shit.
god.
This
So
shit's
you're a
awesome, dude.
half-blood too?
God damn, that shit's fucking awesome, dude. I love it.
Oh,
I love
but
it.
then we get once again, just like Goblet of Fire, it's a really fucking sad
It is. These
ending.
movies are progressively just more like dark. They really are.
Yeah,
It's and
but
all I can think when I'm watching some of these dark ones is like in my head, I'm thinking, holy fuck, this is a long ways away from that first movie, you know?
very much so.
I mean, really.
And then the very last bit is where Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they all agree to skip school next year to go look for the Horcruxes.
Let's go find the Horcruxes.
And then we get to, I'm curious your thoughts on Deathly Hallows Part 1. This one's growing on me a lot.
I like it. I think it's the slowest moving of the films.
Definitely slow.
Um,
Would you have preferred it a 4-hour movie?
yeah, they had to do that. So I understand, you know, I mean,
Or
I
even a
watched them.
5-hour movie, maybe.
Yeah, like I understand why they broke it up. You know, they had to. There's so much there. It's a little slow for me. I like it though. It's good. It's really good.
My one gripe I'll say is that I feel like you spend 6 movies and you don't really know anything about Horcruxes, and then
it seems
within
rushed.
2 movies,
Yeah.
they find the rest of them.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna set out to the land to find the Horcruxes, but they don't really struggle all that much, you know?
Yeah, like even in part 2, it's
Yeah.
like there's something in the castle.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is or where it is.
Oh, you mean I've been trying to find the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets for 3,000 years? Well, I'm sure we'll be able to find it. Like,
With that being said, though, this is definitely the quietest, definitely the slowest.
Slowest.
It's a
lot
road
of walking.
movie.
Or it is a road movie.
It's like Lord of the Rings.
You get a nice vision of Emma Watson without a shirt on.
Yeah.
You don't really see anything, but you know, you can imagine.
Yeah.
That's what I remember
my
from
whole
the film.
life.
That's what I remember from the film.
I've thought of it my whole life.
I'd rather watch the Bling Ring, but that's okay.
Ugh. But
no, it's very good. Trying to destroy the Horcrux.
But the beginning of this one's fucking awesome. Where they have to move Harry.
Oh yeah,
Snape tells them when they're moving him.
Yes, this is pretty
and
cool.
That the battle sequence.
Yeah. You know, they're kind of casual about flying over the roads and
yeah, like especially when they're taking cars out.
Yeah, they're pretty casual about that. I don't know. Maybe you're just
does it work?
Maybe nobody can see them.
Yeah, are we supposed to take the same advice that the bus conductor said? And
yeah, that's
Professor
right.
Vasquez, like muggles don't see anything, do they?
I don't know. Maybe they're moving so quick that they can't see them. I don't know.
Maybe. So those people think that they just popped a tire.
Could be.
Their RV flipped around out of nothing.
If you ever wanted to see Daniel Radcliffe in a dress, now's your chance.
Ooh, in a bra. But I think
it's cool. I mean,
fucking Hedwig.
Yeah.
Once again, unceremoniously, just like Hedwig. You got a song named after her. She's Harry's owl, and then gone.
Yeah, that's
worse than when you find out Moody dies.
You know, I never really even thought about that. You're right. That is pretty fucked.
Yeah,
I never really invested much thought into Hedwig's death, but you're right.
Big
the main
deal.
theme is literally called Hedwig's Theme.
Yeah,
it's the song everyone knows.
Exactly.
Damn.
So she's a big deal. But this is where things get kind of confusing with like the ownership of wands and everything. Like who steals whose wand and who does it belong to now?
If you really started to like, you know, write shit out in an outline, you could probably find some flaws and some plot holes.
Yeah, because Harry and Voldemort have the same wands.
Yeah.
He can't do anything to him, so he takes Lucius's wand.
Right.
And yeah, and then it gets weird with the Elder Wand and who owns it, and Malfoy's wand, and is
the last shot of this movie where Voldemort's opening his casket or his tomb or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, and he takes the Elder Wand.
Okay.
You'd think he'd want to protect it a little better than that.
Yeah.
Considering.
Yeah, Dumbledore's tomb was pretty easy to crack into.
Yeah.
Anyways,
there is a lot that goes on in this because
there is.
You have the preparations for the wedding, Bill and Fleur's wedding.
Yeah.
And they come and attack that and just completely destroy the burrow.
Yeah. Is this where they burned down the Weasley's house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's pretty
Yeah.
fucked. That's pretty fucked. Um, yeah, Ron's on his
Take no
period again in
prisoners.
this movie.
Yeah, he is, but that's because he's got the locket on.
Oh, I understand, but God, he's kind of
Don't
annoying.
worry, he's not stealing her away.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying sometimes in the series.
He can be for
Like,
sure.
fuck, pussy boy, especially in Goblet of Fire. Like, he should have known by that point that Harry's telling him the truth. It's like you guys have
You've
been
been
real good friends for 3 years.
for long
Why would you
enough.
suddenly not believe him? And
Yeah.
it was,
What you think Carrie wants to put himself into that? Everything
yeah.
he has to deal with
Ugh.
already.
Anyways, moving backwards.
But this is also where we find out that there's objects that are more powerful than the Horcruxes that can destroy them, and only those items can do it.
Yes.
The Gryffindor sword,
Yes.
because it is impregnated with basilisk venom, and that's why the basilisk tooth could take out the.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like, who thinks of that? It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Ron runs away, like we said, and he comes back when he realizes
He's on his
everything's all
rag.
good. I fucking love the running through the woods scene
Oh, it's
when
awesome.
those Death Eaters come up
Yeah.
on him.
This is a good movie. It's just,
It
it's
takes a while to get to where it needs to go.
it's filler for the grand finale,
Mm-hmm.
but it's good. I like it
But
a lot.
I think it's necessary.
It is essential. Yeah.
But then we also find out a little bit about Grindelwald, who stole the Elder Wand back in the
There's
day.
a lot. There is a lot going on in this movie. But
Yeah,
this is the one out of all of them that I just kind of, I've seen it a
It's
few
the-
times now, but I couldn't really tell you a whole lot about it. I don't know.
you need to pay attention to it because
Maybe I'm just spacing out.
maybe. I mean, there's a lot that happens. You learn about Grigorovich, who
Yeah.
is the one that he's a wand maker. I believe he created the Elder Wand,
Oh shit.
and he gets the wand stolen by Grindelwald.
Okay.
But then there's this scene where Voldemort goes and sees Grindelwald in Azkaban. He's like, "Where's the wand?"
Okay. Yeah,
It's
that's
like
right.
they buried it with him.
Fuck.
What do you think about the little animated scene of talking about the Deathly Hallows?
It's funny because I think about that every time. I don't know what you call that style of animation, but I've seen it done before.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
I think it's a good way to tell the story.
Right.
Of
You
what
have
they
to.
are.
Yeah, it's fine. It's kind of presented as like a fairy tale sort of thing, which is what it is.
Yeah,
So it's okay.
like yeah. And then we get to probably my least favorite part of the whole franchise when they're at the Malfoy Manor and Dobby helps them escape. Bellatrix throws a knife into their.
Okay. This shit is cool though, because okay, there's a part. This is the one where they bring Harry back and his face is all fucking puffed up, right?
Yeah, they're trying to hide it. Who it is?
Okay. So at this point, Malfoy could have squealed on him.
He could have, yeah.
Yeah,
And
which
he
is
doesn't.
cool. That's a big deal because he fucking knew that was him.
He knew, yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the
You start to see rips in the seams of Voldemort's people and how
that's
they're
true.
not as on board as he is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Bellatrix perfectly throwing that knife right at the right time.
Oh god.
And you know what I love about that scene? I love how it's like
Quiet.
well, yeah, and it's on the beach. I love that setting. It's like it's just perfect. It's perfect.
That music just I think it's probably like Dobby's theme or Dobby's Free. I think it might be what
I
it's
swear
called.
I'm gonna have to watch these again, and I just watched them. Fuck.
You miss a lot. Like,
Man.
I feel like I pick up on something every single time I watch them.
God damn.
And that's why they're so good. Which is
So good. God.
Dobby's got to be with friends.
Oh man.
Ugh.
It's like it's
Makes me
crazy
sick.
because you hadn't really seen him since the second movie at this point, but you still feel like he's been there the whole way. So it's like a big loss,
Because you know how much he cares about Harry.
Shit, it's good. It is fucking good.
God damn it.
Man, oh man.
And then part 2 picks up right where part 1 left off in the cottage on the beach.
I don't even know what to say about part 2. It takes
Do you
a
think
lot to, like I said
yeah.
earlier, 7 movies were building up to this,
Mhm.
and fuck, man, I think that movie did a good. It didn't disappoint. It could have
I don't
easily
think it
disappointed.
I don't think it could have been much better.
No, it could have easily disappointed, but it didn't. They hit all the right notes with it.
The Battle of Hogwarts is fucking
Holy
incredible
fuck.
from the
That
very
is the
beginning.
sickest shit ever. It's like seriously one like
It's
I
almost
mean,
like it's almost like in movies where they try to go to a place or bring in cameos
yeah,
for just for nostalgic factor.
right.
It feels like they did it and it felt like it was necessary for it to be
Yeah,
there.
it's just dude. Okay, so I don't even know where to begin.
Well, this one starts out immediately. They
Yeah,
go to Gringotts and like we're off.
yeah.
It doesn't stop.
Okay. First of all, the Gringot sequence is fucking badass.
It's
Um,
awesome.
First of all, you get Emma Watson wearing the Bellatrix
Oh,
outfit, which is like, man,
it's yeah, yeah.
yikes. But it's great. It's fucking great. That whole thing with the dragon, Gringotts, it's like fucking crazy shit going on in there.
And then there's the flashback of, or not even the flashback, but like the thought of Voldemort in Gringotts, and there's blood
Yeah.
everywhere. He's
Oh,
covered in blood. All
dude.
Grip Hook's dead.
See, the shit is dark, man. It's so one of the Horcruxes is in it's Bellatrix safe, right?
Yeah, the cup.
Yeah, and there's that enchantment that everything they touch multiplies by a bunch, which is awesome.
Mhm.
Fuck, this is a great movie. This is like a
Something right.
perfect finale.
It is, yeah, but something a little bit before that when he's talking to Ollivander about who owns what wand,
Yes, yes.
and they're about to walk away, and Ollivander's just like, if he's coming after you, I'm afraid you really don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, like, how awesome is that? Really think about it.
My God, I'm getting
Go all the
chills.
way back to 2001 when Harry's getting his first wand. Who's there talking to him about it? It's Ollivander.
Yeah.
Here he is, the last movie, about to have a showdown. Who's talking to him? Ollivander.
Ollivander.
Fucking hey, dude. Man, I'm so
Oh,
glad.
talk.
I'm so glad he didn't die before they could shoot that. Like,
Hmm.
man, so awesome.
I'm glad he made it through the whole way.
Fuck.
But it's just like one event after the other.
It
They go to
is.
Gringotts, and then once they get there, they have to go back to Godric's Hollow where Harry came from.
That's a whole other thing. Like, holy fuck, how cool is that? It's like the whole movie you've been hearing about his parents dying, and now you're like at the spot. It's like such a
Well,
damn dude.
in part one is when they actually go to the grave
Yeah,
of
fuck.
his parents,
That's right.
which,
That's right, dude.
and then they see Bathilda Bagshot, and it's actually Nagini. And
Man.
but anyway, yeah, they go back to Godric's Hollow and they come across Dumbledore's brother Aberforth, who Kieran Hines, the actor who plays him, I really like him as an actor.
Really
But
good.
how much did you really know my brother?
Fuck.
Like, this is when we start to find out Dumbledore is a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, which is kind of I don't know, man. We could have just talked about this last movie because there's so much going on in it. It's
Yeah, the last one is, there's so much happening, so much necessary stuff happening, because oh, I thought I broke my glasses. Then they open up the passageway, which is a painting of
yes,
the sister,
yes.
and her name is Ariana, I believe, Ariana Dumbledore.
God
And
damn,
who
it's
pops
awesome.
out from the passageway but Neville
That's true.
Longbottom.
And let me tell you something. In that scene when Harry comes, like they show him in Hogwarts
the
again, and they
the
go,
music,
yeah,
the fucking
holy
music that plays.
fuck! I got chills.
Do
So good,
do
dude.
do do do.
Oh
It's like, oh my
man,
God, Harry's back in
dude.
Hogwarts.
When like the other day, I rewound that like 5 times. Watched that part.
So
So good.
fucking good. And then he comes down and he's like, we have to find something in the castle. We don't know where it is or what it is.
Oh, you mean they've been looking for this for 3,000 years?
Oh,
Well,
the lost diadem.
yeah. Don't
Oh
worry,
yeah.
Harry will find it in an hour.
It's because he imagined it.
It's true. You just gotta, whatever. But man, it's
and
fucking great.
then and then they split off.
How
Harry
about
and
how about that showdown though in the Great Hall with Snape
Oh my god.
and
And
fucking Harry,
McGonagall.
and McGonagall steps in front of Harry, and like
Di-
McGonagall's
and
been a staple in that in the series since the beginning. She was in the very first scene of the series, but this is like the first time where you can really see she's like a protector, and it's
she's a protector, and the look on Snape's face when she walks in front of him, like, I
yeah.
don't want to do this with you.
Fuck.
I don't want to do
What the
this.
fuck, dude?
And then what's crazy is the guy on his left, that's Ralph Ineson from The Witch.
Oh, that's right. Thomasin.
He's one of the Caros, but
Oh,
it's just like
fuck.
that little subtle quick shot of his
Yeah.
face where he's just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do
And I
this.
just, the whole time, like I said earlier, I'm just thinking in my head how much, like, think of that first movie. The Great Hall was all bright. They're having parties and shit. And now it's like dark and fucking Snape is
Everybody's in
dueling
their
fucking
lines.
McGonagall. It's like, this is so fun.
Yeah.
All I got to say, though, if you were a parent and your kid was a first year, why the fuck would you send your kid to Hogwarts at this time?
Yeah, right. Why would you?
It's like there should be no first years. I would not send my kid there.
It's not the time.
But anyways, it's
Ugh.
fucking badass, dude. And then they start locking down the castle, which is just
When they do the spell, and then the spell with the stone guards.
that's one of the coolest moments. Oh god. Oh, yeah, Tata locomotive or whatever the fuck.
He always wants to use that spell.
Dude, so good.
But there's a lot of things happening at one time, because while that's happening, Hermione and Ron, they go to the Chamber of Secrets again.
Okay, that's another thing I want to talk about. It's like they just walked to the front door of the Chamber of Secrets.
Well, they knew how to get there.
Well, did they go to the sink and drop down?
Maybe, yeah.
How did they get up? Because in the second movie, the fucking Phoenix brings them back.
You have to imagine that they probably made an entranceway, since they know where it is now.
Okay.
Because the whole thing is they don't know where it is.
You're right. Because it looked like they just walked to the front door of the Chamber of Secrets. And in my head, I'm thinking, so did they like fall down the sink again to get down here? But really cool callback though. I love how the skeleton of the basilisk is in there. It's fucking awesome. Like if you're a kid watching that, it's like, whoa, dude, this is like pulling back some memories,
It's like a necessary callback that doesn't feel cheap.
Yeah.
But while they're doing that, Harry's gonna go talk to Ravenclaw. Is it Rowena? No, it's Helena. He's gonna go talk to Helena, played by, she's played by.
No, who is she played by?
Trainspotting? The chick from Trainspotting.
Which one?
What's her name? Kelly McDonald.
She's Ravenclaw?
You didn't know that? Helena Raina?
No.
You didn't know that was her?
No, and I was vividly paying attention to that movie because I'm like excited for the battle coming up.
Well, I guess because she looks like a ghost, but I'm surprised the voice didn't give it away.
Damn, she's hot.
He defiled it with dark magic.
Man, I didn't even realize that. A couple Trainspotting actresses in this series.
I prefer seeing a bunch of the actors from this in The Borrowers.
Wow. The Borrowers.
Tom Felton, Mark, whoever plays Arthur Weasley. And then, oh, fuck. It doesn't matter. Slughorn's in it too. I like that movie. But they ended up going to the room of requirement to get the diadem, and
it's that easy.
They get followed by Draco Malfoy and his henchmen.
Crab
and fucking Goyle dies.
Does he?
He falls in the fire.
Oh, I didn't know he died. That's fucked.
Well, he fell in fire.
I guess you're right. See, this is another big moment because Harry, Mr. fucking nice guy beta boy, gotta just save Draco. Should just let him fucking die, but whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome shit though.
Awesome shit.
Oh man. Then can we talk about the shot of like Voldemort and his army just like up on the hillside looking down at Hogwarts? Like, God. What in the fuck?
Begin.
I mean, dude, this is like, I think this is like one of the greatest films I really do. Like
It's
it's, I
fucking
mean,
amazing.
I really do think that. Like, wow, Jesus
It's
Christ.
fucking amazing. And then when they can't get it done and he realizes, oh fuck, he found another Horcrux.
Oh man,
He's like,
yeah.
yeah. It
Fuck,
just blows the whole thing up.
dude.
I fucking love the scene when they're converging onto the castle, and it's like that one long shot where it goes into the window, and
Oh,
you see Arthur, Kingsley fighting him off.
so,
Kingsley
dude,
does
so
the spell
awesome.
on. It just shows the grand scale
Yeah,
of the whole thing.
it really is something else.
And
And then,
there's that shot where it's McGonagall in the forefront and
yeah,
everybody's running and the explosions in the background.
yeah,
It's
man.
just like it's just so weird to see Hogwarts in this
I
kind of
know. And like I
situation.
said, it was such a build up from 7 movies before this, and it's, man, it lives up to it. It really does.
Fucking getting fucking chills
I know
talking
it
about
really,
it.
like, the when you hear for 7 movies about the Dark Lord and all this bullshit, and then in the last movie you see him standing at Hogwarts with this fucking army. It's like surreal almost. Even it's
Yeah,
weird. It's fucking weird. It's a
it
few
is
few
weird.
movies like make me feel that way. Like, what the fuck?
Wow. Oh, after that, we get. I was lying. I think this may be my favorite part of the
Oh,
whole
there's
thing.
so
But
much to talk about in this film. I mean,
well, Voldemort gets in. He's talking to Snape. It's like, Snape, you're the owner of the wand. I can't. I have to kill you. This
yeah.
is it. Nagini takes him out, and this is like when I didn't read the book, so when I
Oh,
saw
see,
this in
me too. I'm like,
when I
what the
saw this in
fuck?
theaters, it was like the
Yeah,
biggest twist
yeah.
I've ever seen.
Imagine not knowing this was
Take
coming,
them,
you know?
take them to the Pensieve,
Oh my God.
and the music that plays, Severus and Lily.
Holy fuck.
He's in love with Lily. Is Lily in love with him though?
I'm still kind of okay. So, like, James bullied Severus, right?
James and his Marauders, yeah.
Okay. So, like, why does he take that out on Harry, though?
Resentfulness,
Okay. Okay.
I guess.
But he always had
Because
good
he because
intentions, which you
well,
find out.
I think he sees his dad
He
in
sees
him
his
because he
dad in
always
him.
says you're just like your father.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
But he loved Lily so much that
And, he's always protecting him. Even if you go back to the third film when they're about to get attacked by a werewolf fucker,
he blocks him
yeah,
off.
yeah. So I mean, it's the signs have
And
always
it,
been there.
and it makes it even better when you go back and watch those movies and see those little things.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Man, what the fuck? So
And
good.
the look on Harry's face when he brings his face out of it,
Yeah.
just looking right at the camera, and you're like,
Yeah. Like a
what the fuck?
huge, like, what is, I had no clue the whole time.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
And then he realizes what he has to do.
Holy fuck.
He has to die.
Jesus Christ. Oh, so
He
yeah,
goes to
that's the point where he hears the oh, Harry,
meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
Like
I'll
some of the
suck your
best
dick.
ASMR.
Yeah. So there he goes. And
Innocent
man,
blood has been spilled.
holy fuck.
I will kill every last man,
Dude,
woman, and child.
this movie's amazing. It really is. I've never seen, there's like few movies that have so much like epic shit going on and like the same. It's
Constant.
crazy. It's crazy.
I want to skip the rest and just watch it
Yeah. And I'm
tonight.
like not an action guy. I don't like action movies. This is an action film.
I think action is good when you
Yeah.
like feel connection to something.
I mean, I'm not
You
an
have an
action guy at
emotional
all, but the
investment. Not when they're
action
just
in this,
up random shit.
yeah, holy fuck.
Hogwarts is our home, so it means something when they're destroying it. I can't. Hogwarts is my home.
Wait, so is this before or after he goes, come on, Tom, let's end things?
This is before.
Okay. Because that
'Cause he-
part's
he-
fucking awesome too. Holy shit. Calls him
He-
Tom. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, he
Okay.
goes to the Forbidden Forest to accept his fate, drops the resurrection stone, and gets fucking obliterated.
Gets obliterated.
Talks
This-
to Dumbledore in death.
Yes, talks to Dumbledore in death. And then what really happens here? How does he come back to life?
The resurrection stone that he dropped.
Okay, the Resurrection Stone, which is one of the Deathly Hallows, and
Mhm.
then
And then
what's
he
it?
sees the weakened form of Voldemort.
And then hot ass Malfoy mom comes up to check on him, and she bluffs, which is awesome.
This is what I mean. Like the seams are being ripped to
Yes,
Voldemort's whole cause.
because
Draco,
yeah,
is he alive? Draco. And he just gives the slight
yeah. Oh man, so awesome.
dead.
Yeah, so awesome.
And then
Wow.
Hagrid picks him up, brings him back to like everything.
I can't even talk about this, dude. This movie might be one of my like top 10 movies ever now that I'm talking about it this way. Because,
it's up there.
dude, think about the events of the first movie. Who was carrying Harry as a baby?
It goes real full
Holy
circle.
fuck. And now he's dead, supposedly.
Yeah.
Hagrid's carrying his corpse. How
Well,
poetic is that?
even before that, when he sees Harry, he's like, Harry, no, what are you doing?
God.
And that the fucking part where Neville has his speech. Like
That's true.
Neville's more of an alpha than
Yeah.
Harry.
Suddenly Neville is cool in this film.
Yeah,
Which
and
is just
sexy.
yeah, which is fine. It's good for him. It works. Wow.
Yeah, he has this whole speech, and Harry just jumps out of Hagrid's arms,
Yeah,
and the way the camera zooms in on
dude.
Voldemort and
When he
his look,
when he
and
jump when
his
he
just
when he jumps out of his arms, oh my god. Holy fuck.
so
Didn't die in
fucking
vain,
sick.
but you will.
You will. And he's just like the pure fear on Voldemort's face when he knows that Harry's not dead.
Man, so awesome.
And
Fuck.
then, yeah, the fight continues. I guess like we don't really see the fight continuing, right? It's just Harry and Voldemort going at it, really.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, they don't really have like as big of a showdown as you might think, I guess. Like it,
It's not
no,
elongated.
no, but the
But
whole
I guess this is also the part where Molly takes out
yeah,
Bellatrix.
which is awesome, by the way. But the first time I saw that, and she calls her a bitch, I'm like, what the fuck?
What the
Where did this come
fuck?
from?
Yeah.
I don't really know how she kills her though, because she doesn't. I don't know what she
Yeah, it's
used
almost
on
like
her.
she turned her into like an ice cube and then
Yeah, it's
broke
like
the
she
ice cube.
petrified her and then like shattered her. But
I
it's
guess it's the
cool.
same way that Tom dies.
It's fucking cool. I'll tell you that.
But yeah,
Just hearing her
Harry,
call someone a bitch. It's like, wow.
after being like the sweet, kind
Yeah,
mother throughout the
dropping
whole
the
thing,
fucking bitch word.
and then Harry and Voldemort meet at the top of the clock tower, I believe.
Oh my
And
god,
he's like, "Come on, Tom,
dude.
let's finish this.
Him
We
calling him
started."
Tom is so fucking badass,
And
man.
then oh,
I mean,
fl-
I know it's fictional, their characters or whatever, but
you have
in
to
my head,
imagine that gets under his skin.
yeah, like thinking, what would Voldemort think at that point where he's calling him Tom? Like
It's like, I
that's some
got you.
that's some badass shit, dude.
I got you, motherfucker. I got
Whoa,
you.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
And then they fly around and they connect. Like they are one.
They connect, and then wow, one of the sickest fucking wand sequences where they're just like this big fucking. I don't even know what's going on, but it's awesome.
It's
So
just like
cool.
one last touching of tips.
Yep, touching of tips. That's what's going on there.
Neville takes out Nagini right at the right time, and
Awesome shot too, by the
it
way. Neville swinging the sword of Gryffindor.
and the
Oh,
echo.
oh my god.
And then instead of
Oh wait, does it
Harry,
Neville picks up the sorting hat, doesn't he?
he takes it out of the sorting
And then
hat.
yeah, the sword appears in the hat, right?
Yeah. Just at the beginning of, or like during his speech,
Yeah,
he just has the hat in his hand and he's like,
yeah.
but you will, and
Oh
rips it out.
man, so cool.
And then yeah. What do you think about the way that Voldemort goes out? Do you think it's anticlimactic?
I could see why people might think that, but if you're going, the whole plot is the Horcruxes. So
He's not. I
yeah,
mean,
he's
he's not human anymore.
right. He's weakened big time at that point. So no, I mean I think it's great. I don't ever feel disappointed by it. That whole build up and then just the fact that they're like fighting on Hogwarts territory is like on the grounds is badass. I think it's
I
great. I
think.
think it's
I think.
perfect.
I think at a certain point I didn't care for it, but
Yeah.
I think it's better than him just hitting him with the killing curse and he just falls.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think the fact he disintegrates away
Yeah,
is better.
it wouldn't be right. It would be out of character for Harry to. Yeah, I mean, no, it's it's perfect. And then the wand comes back to him, and he grabs it, and holy shit!
And then based on the whole lineage of the wand, it ends up that he owns it. It's his.
Wow.
And instead of what he could have done, become a master of death,
Yep.
he just breaks it in half. He's like, I'm fucking done with this.
Breaks it like a pussy.
But
And I
that's
mean,
what's
that's it's the end, basically.
that's essentially it. Well, 19 years later, what do you think of this scene? Don't like it.
I don't like it. And it pains me to say that because literally everything about this movie's perfect,
Mhm.
but I don't like this part.
I think the best part about that final shot is the Leaving Hogwarts song coming
Oh,
on.
couldn't agree with you more, my brother. That's awesome. It's like full
Everything
circle
else,
shit.
yeah,
It's just too weird. It's like
they
it's
were
just
children and
yeah.
now they're adults, and I don't want to see Hermione kiss her daughter like she's an adult.
I wish
she's a child.
I wish they would have just like I wish it just would have faded out after he fucking broke the wand or something, you know. I don't know. I mean, it's
Like the way it does.
Yeah, like
and then they add it.
It does. The movie's so good that it doesn't bother me. It's not horrible, you know. It's not like it's just kind of like out of place, and I don't know. It's just strange to me. But
yeah,
I agree. The use of the music, fucking A. And it is kind of cool to see, like, you know, his son getting on the train and finding his own compartment, and you know, it's totally full circle thing.
Full circle, just like they did.
Yeah.
Except he has knowledge of it because he grew up in it.
I mean, it's quite the journey. Wow.
And then now we'll talk about the cursed child.
Wow. I read about that because you were telling me that it was
horrible.
Like, yeah. Holy shit.
Time Turner and like he's a Slytherin.
No, she should just make another story about Harry Potter. Just make another Harry Potter book.
Tell us about his life as an Auror.
See, I wish she wouldn't have done that epilogue because then it would have just been open ended, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you know, fuck it. They can bring Voldemort back. None of the shit really makes sense, anyways, when you really think about it.
It's magic.
It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, they could bring him back or find something, you know?
He came back once already.
But I don't know. That last film's amazing.
Yeah, well, shall we rattle off our ratings real quick?
Let me consult mine. I did
you make a list?
I did, yeah. It's on private. Not that anyone cares. Not that anyone gives a fuck. But I really thought hard about this.
I did too, and I still feel like it could change.
Oh, it could, and it probably will. You go ahead.
Okay. You want to just give one at a time?
Sure. Let's start with your least favorite.
Okay. So my least favorite, number 8.
Okay. Are we doing this by favorite or film quality? Your best to worst.
My favorites.
Oh, this is okay. This is favorites. Okay.
Mine's kind of the same, I guess.
Okay.
It's kind of, you can kind of interchange it with
okay. Let's do number 8.
Number 8 is Chamber Secrets for me. It's my least favorite. I think it's like we talked about, the one that has the least to say.
That is my number 8 too.
Yeah.
But number 8, number 7 could interchange with each other. Really,
I feel like mine could too.
Yeah.
Mine's Goblet of Fire.
Okay. My number 7 is Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's
not me being a contrarian.
Well, that's my number 6 is Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay, so we're
notice a theme here that the first half are on the bottom 4.
That's true. Number 6 for me is definitely Hallows Part 1, and I don't even like ranking any of these because I love all of them.
I don't dislike any of them.
Even number 8, dude, I've watched Chamber Secrets. I could watch that anytime.
I'd watch Chamber Secrets over most things.
It's a blast. So I don't like ranking them, but number 6, definitely Hallows Part 1. Seems drags on a little bit for me.
Understandable. Well, my number 5 is definitely Hallows Part 1.
Okay. Number 5 for me is Goblet of Fire.
Understandable. So we're somewhat the same.
We're pretty close here. Yeah.
Yeah, different order, but I think actually they're all exactly the same, just different order.
Just different
Our
order.
bottom four are the same.
Yeah.
So that means that I think we might have the same thing here.
I'm curious. Let's hear number 4.
My number 4 is Half-Blood Prince.
Okay, this is probably where we're off track a little bit because
okay,
my number 4 is Order of the Phoenix, but again, like with 7 and 8, 3 and 4 could either or. So it's hard. This is a hard list.
It is a hard list. I feel like my top 4 is not as interchangeable.
Yeah.
Because my number 3 is Order of the Phoenix.
Okay. And that's Half-Blood Prince for me. So we got 1 and 2 are the same, probably.
I think 1 and 2 are the same. Number 2 is Sorcerer's Stone.
Yes.
Number 1 is Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yep. And I did this on like film quality, I guess. While, like Sorcerer's Stone is a kid's movie. It's kiddie, but it's like a masterpiece,
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And if I was doing this by favorites, I'd probably put the first one as my favorite. But, in terms of film quality, I think that last part, Deathly Hallows Part 2 is just next level type of shit,
Yeah, it's hard to go away from that.
Yeah.
Because the first one begins everything perfectly, and the Deathly Hallows ends everything.
Yeah, it's
almost perfectly.
It's quite the journey. Yeah, just cut off that last 5 minutes and it'd be golden.
Yeah, just cut off the movie at that point.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
I don't even know how long the episode was. Just kept talking.
It'll probably be like 2.5 hours.
Well, it's like the length of a Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, it'll probably be at 2:15.
Damn, 2:20.
Yeah.
Good thing we didn't put anything else in.
No, that was wow. Well, we wanted to do this because
I know kill myself if something messes up.
Yeah, seriously, this might kill the podcast if this doesn't work. So, one of these, at the very least, the Zoom will work.
Yeah.
No, we wanted to do this because I think they're important films to both of us in terms of
very
like
so.
How we appreciate film now. I think the Harry Potter movies are a big part of that, and we've never really taken time to just like dedicate just to talking about them. So with the 20th anniversary, it was a lot of fun to rewatch these and to kind of break them down. I mean, I think we fucking covered a lot, man. A lot.
We could have gone way deeper too.
Oh yeah.
And so. I just feel like they're very important to me. I grew up literally with Harry Potter. When I was in first grade, he was in his first year.
Yeah.
It's just like I grew up with it. So
I mean, there's things that happen in your life where you never forget where you were or whatever. I will never forget going in to watch the first movie the day it came out and seeing those characters on the screen for the first time and just being like, this is fucked, this is incredible. So
everything I could have hoped it would be.
Yeah, very big deal. Guys, if you're listening, if you made it this far, wow. You guys and you British guys are probably like, fucking shut up about Harry Potter already. They got to get sick of hearing about that shit over there. I bet they're like fucking, that shit's got to be annoying,
But I'm curious, like we talked about earlier, did you know who these actors were when you watched the movies?
Yeah.
Like, was it a different perspective, a different viewing experience for you?
I mean,
these people were.
What a ballsy thing though to like attach Chris Columbus and John Williams to a film with an all British cast, and I mean it's just it's unprecedented sort of shit. It's very weird. So
and an American screenwriter too.
Yeah, I mean just how wild. So let us know, what do you think about the Harry Potter films? Tell us your ranking. Very curious.
Yeah.
This is episode 161 of the Cinema Scumbags podcast. Nick, you got anything else?
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm not Harry. I am. Oh,
I can't be a wizard. Harry.
Perfect example of kids trying a little bit too hard, but whatever.
Yeah,
great fucking
fake
movies.
acting.
We love them. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Episode 161 in the books. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, go fuck yourselves. My body's gone.
My body's gone. My body's gone.
Holy shit.